What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Too Pop to Handle. I'm your host, Andrew Nucatola, your pop culture best friend. And as always, I hope you guys are having a fabulous week. Now, this week's episode is very exciting for a plethora of reasons. Number one, it is Aries season. It is my time to shine. I am in my strongest era in this time of the year. So welcome to Aries season. Number two, we are celebrating Hannah Montana's 20th anniversary, which on one hand makes me feel incredibly old. And on the other hand, makes me so happy that I am bringing my girl, Mollie, onto the show this week. Hello, Mollie. Welcome.
Hi, I'm very happy to be here. I can't
I'm
believe you're an Aries. I had no idea.
I am, are you as well? I saw you like waving, but I was like, I can't tell if you're saying like me too or just like I love an Aries.
I know I was like, let me not chime in until he introduces me, or else the audience is going to be like, who is this? Jump
Who is that
scare.
voice? Yeah.
Yeah, who is this voice of God? So my fiance is an Aries, and I'm a Leo, and I
Oh,
always get
okay.
along with Aries very well,
I love
because we're
that.
all fire signs. We're
There we go.
sometimes they clash. I usually tend to get along with other fire signs.
Yeah, I
So
find the same thing. I'm like I'm not like super crazy into like the astrology of it all, but when someone says something about an Aries, I'm like, oh my God, that's so me. So I'm like, I
same,
believe it and I agree to it when it's about like my sign. Everything else, I'm like, maybe I
same.
get along with you, maybe I don't. Though, like, three of my best friends are literally all born the first week of May. So I'm like, okay, I must have something with a Taurus. Like, that must, I think it's Taurus, I'm pretty sure. I'm like, that must be
Yeah.
something aligned with me because, like, it's literally like the fifth, the eighth, and the ninth. I'm like, back to back to back. How did this all happen? But anyway, Mollie is here today joining me. It is the first time in Too Pop to Handle Herstory that I am having somebody come on the entire episode with me. And I'm so excited. This is something that I've been wanting to do for a while, but I kind of was like, how am I going to do it? What if they don't know everything? And I was like, you know what? If they don't know everything, who does know everything these days? We're just going to jump in,
It's hard to
have
keep up.
fun. It is, right.
Yeah.
So if you don't know Mollie, she is no stranger to the podcast. Her and her co-host Becky from Talk Miley to Me came on. That was what, almost a year ago. That was last June.
Yeah, I
Crazy
think
that
it
it's been that
was.
long. Yeah, because it was when Something Beautiful came out. They came on to do an album reaction with me and we broke down the album track by track. And then I went on their podcast and I've had a lot of people be like, oh my God, I found you from their podcast. So I'm hoping
Oh, cool.
yeah, I'm hoping anybody
That's cool.
listening who is also a Talk Miley to Me girl or gay or they, whoever, however you may identify, is thrilled to have Mollie
Yeah.
on. You may also have seen her on her
Uh,
YouTube channel, Mollie on Pop, or her TikTok where she does reaction videos. So much fun, just like pop culture stuff, pop culture deep dive. So if you're looking for some more pop culture to fill your cup, Mollie has got you covered in a plethora of areas. But the main reason I wanted to have Mollie on, obviously, her podcast is Talk Miley to Me, all about Miley Cyrus. And not only are we celebrating the 20th anniversary of Hannah Montana, her and Becky were in attendance for the Hannah performance. We're going to get all into it in just a little bit. I am like, I'm just so happy
yeah.
for you guys. Like,
Thank
truly,
you.
nobody deserves it more. And the fact that you guys have it on
Aw,
video, getting the email is, I saw the clip and
crazy.
I was like, this is great. Like, this is what I want to see on Beyonce's internet. Like, this is incredible. And I was
Yeah.
so happy for you guys. And I cannot wait to hear all
Thank
about it.
you.
Of
Yeah, we'll definitely talk
course.
about it for sure.
Yes. And now, before we get into the show, I do have two quick housekeeping things that I will go through very quick. Number one, to everybody who showed up Saturday night for my Pop Talks live show, thank you so much. I had so much fun. It was so crazy. I like said this on stage. I was like, it's crazy that I usually sit in my living room and just talk to a camera for an hour, but having people laugh and ask questions, I was like, whoa, this is like a whole different world. But it was so much fun. If you don't know, I did a live show Saturday night covering how Jay-Z cheating on Beyonce led us to Cowboy Carter. And it was very fun. It was lighthearted. It was silly. I have a recording of it that I will be putting out on Substack sometime this week. So keep an eye on
Cool.
my Instagram. I will have that up for you guys if you are interested in watching it there. But again, thank you to everybody who came out, to my friends, to my family, to anybody who showed up. It means the world to me. And number two, I finally saw Lady Gaga's Mayhem Ball last week. I know. And now I don't know if you're up to date on my lore with the Mayhem Ball at all. No pressure if you're not.
I haven't, but I've seen the Mayhem Ball,
Oh,
so
you
we
did.
have some
Oh,
things to talk about. Yeah.
amazing. Okay, so quick TLDR for me. So when she was here in August, my boyfriend and I would take shifts going to the box office and trying to get tickets, and it was truly
Oh, yeah.
unbelievable. Like the just concert culture as a whole has
No,
gotten
it's
so out
crazy.
of hand. And like we
Yeah.
would show up to the box office, try to get tickets. We were like humiliating ourselves on the internet, making like prayer circle TikToks
No, because I
outside.
saw
Like
that.
Yes,
That's what I've seen, I think.
that one went kind of viral. So I was like, there was like a moment where I was like, I might get into this just because this is solely like getting traction. I did not. However, I did end up securing tickets. Well, my friends Carolyn and Alyssa, who I know listen, so hello, my sisters.
Hey.
They ended up getting us tickets, and I had the time of my fucking life. I was standing there during that first act, and like I was so overcome with excitement. I just started crying, like just happy tears. And I've seen Gaga a plenty of times. I saw her on the Monster Ball tour back in 2010. I saw her for Chromatica, Joanne. Like I've seen Gaga before, but something about like A, I just love Mayhem so much. And B,
Me
like
too.
the fight that I went through to get these damn tickets, I was just so excited to be there. You went. What are your thoughts? What did you think about the show?
So that was the first time I've went to see Lady Gaga, and I've been wanting to see her. It just never happened. I saw her in Chicago last year,
Okay.
and like you, loved Mayhem. Something Beautiful by Miley Cyrus and Mayhem by Lady Gaga. Both were like going back and forth last year for me in 2025. That's
Totally.
like all I listened to.
Hmm.
So we were in the nosebleeds, and it was the best, like one of the best concerts I've ever been to in my life. In the nosebleeds,
Unbelievable.
it like her power and just her the way she performs, the way that you can be in like the worst seat in the house and still
Hmm.
feel like you went to like one of the best concerts ever is insane. That doesn't happen for everyone.
Insane. No, not at all. And we were like 200, so not quite fully nosebleeds, but
Okay.
like our nose were dripping. It wasn't.
We might have been
It
around there
was,
too.
yeah. So like we weren't
Back
close by all
200s.
means. But I say this about Beyonce as well. They have a way of knowing how to fill a arena, a stadium, wherever they're performing,
Yes.
that makes even you being in the last row feel like you are in the front, similar to what you said. And it was such a magnetic experience. And I went to Lady Gaga's The Monster Ball tour and Katy Perry's California Dreams tour 2 months apart from each other in 2010 or 11, whatever it was.
Wow.
And I
What
say
a
to this
time.
day, those two shows, I like saw them like back to back, changed the way that I consume live music to this day. And like I will
I
always
bet.
see like whenever Gaga or Katy tours, like I always make an effort to try to go. And the way that Gaga just commands a stage, and you can tell how
Yeah.
happy she is to be up there, how proud she is to be yelling at us to put our paws up over and over. It had to be at least 150 times. I was like, my paws are up, girl. I can't keep them up any longer. The vocals, the visuals, it was so incredible. And I will say, my one gripe was that I do think the interludes were a little long, which
Yeah.
I don't mind a long interlude as a Beyonce stan. Like I'm used to a short film in between them. Like it is normal. But I think because
Hmm.
Gaga she kind of threw this tour together last minute, which is crazy when you look at this tour and you're like, you put this together last minute. Like remember, she
Yeah.
was like, I wasn't planning on touring it, but you guys love it so much. Let's just do it this year. So I do think she didn't have as much time. Like with Chromatica, that tour in the interlude, she had like short films that she would do. And that was it's so engaging. And I did have fine moments during the interludes where I was like, okay, we're just looking at like lights flashing. And I was like,
No, you're right.
it's fine because it's Gaga, and when she is on stage, it is such a powerhouse. But I was like, that was my one tiny gripe. I'm trying to be better about like admitting when something isn't like 100% perfect, which will tie into the Hannah
Yeah.
Montana special as well. I'm like, it was
Me
great,
too. Me too.
but I'm like, it doesn't always need to be but rainbows and butterflies. Like you're
You
allowed to
be
not like
critical.
things. And that was my
Yeah.
one thing. Truly, everything else. I don't know if you noticed this, but the paparazzi. During the ending, she had all the lights on the wristbands flashing like cameras,
Yes.
and I was sitting. I was like, this is theater. Like I'm watching a Broadway show. This is unbelievable. It was incredible. I can't.
Is your wristband still on?
It's not. It is behind me
Oh,
somewhere on this
okay.
shelf.
Mine
And
stayed on for like 2 weeks.
okay, so mine was lighting up and I didn't realize that's what it was. I like took it off, put it down, and like I don't think it was on when I got home. And then I woke up in the middle of the night because I saw like a red light and I was like, what is happening? And then I was like, oh my God, it's my Gaga light. It did turn off within like 24 hours, but I remember my Eras Tour bracelet, that one stayed on for so long. And I'm sentimental where I keep
I am too.
everything. So I was
Me
like, I
too.
guess my Eras Tour bracelet's just going in a box for now because like I can't stare at this light all the time. But I was like,
Yeah.
why are we still blinking red? Like my paws are still up, apparently, according to this
Oh
wristband.
yeah.
No.
Honestly, when mine finally died, I got like kind of sad.
Yeah.
I was like,
It's
that
like
means it's really over.
it's like, oh wow, we really are done, I guess. Yeah, my paws are down.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that
Puts
you
them
went. I'm so
down.
glad. Yeah, literally.
Oh, it was the best.
It
Yeah.
was
I'm glad you were able to
incredible.
finally go too.
It felt
A
like the
journey.
most, no, truly. And like any of my listeners know, like because she was here for like a week and a half, 2 weeks. And it was right when the VMAs were happening, which I was working. So I was like, going on site with the VMAs, coming back to the city, going to the garden, going back on site, going home, trying to sleep, going back. And I was like this saga of trying to get these tickets. And I've had them for months. We got them during the pre-sale for the second leg. So I knew it was happening, but it was almost like a disbelief where I was like, wait, we have tickets to this tour. Like I'm actually seeing the Mayhem Ball. And it didn't hit
Uh,
me literally until she came on stage. And I was just like, holy fuck, this is incredible. It was worth the wait times 10. It was unbelievable. I had the time of my life. So much
that's
fun.
amazing.
So, with all of that being said, let's get into the show. And you guys know the drill. We kick off every single episode with our Drew releases, our new music releases from last week, and our new releases coming up this week. So, kicking it off, and Molly was oh so kind and actually listened to all of the things that I put in this document. So, I'm very appreciative. You're a very tentative host or co-host. So I appreciate it. Kicking it off, we had Flo releasing their single Leak It, which is their first single after they were nominated for a Grammy. So there's a lot of eyes on them just in the industry. And I've loved Flo for a while. I think they're just doing it right as a girl. Girl groups, they're hit or miss. You either get it or you don't. And they get it. Like I love a girl group that can deliver the vocals together. They can look cohesive. Their choreo is on it. And I've seen them live twice now. And each time I'm just like, this is a girl group. Like this is how you do it. Love this track. They blend pop and R&B so beautifully. And there's such like a fun, nostalgic vibe to them, but they still feel fresh.
That's what I was gonna say is that so this was my favorite song
Oh,
that I listened
yay.
to. And I've never listened to Flow.
Oh, you have to get into
Don't come at
their
me. Well, now I
no,
have to
their
because
album from
I
last
listened to
year.
this. So
Incredible.
good. Well, this song particularly, I was listening to it when I was working. But I was like, I cannot work on anything right now because it was such a vibe. Very Y2K, how girl groups used to sound,
Hmm.
back in like the early 2000s,
Totally.
but fresh. It didn't feel like it was a knockoff of what we've heard before.
They give you very like it's almost like Destiny's Child like
Yeah.
grown like in 2026, like they still, like you said, they have
Yeah.
that Y2K vibe and all of their music sounds like that. It's all
Cool.
very pop R&B fusion. Their vocals are on it, like they are so incredible. I think I discovered them on TikTok first, like years ago. They went viral for they did that song on TikTok that was like, I'm gonna put your shit in a cardboard box.
Oh
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
yeah.
That's Flow. Yeah. That's
Oh
how I
wow.
discovered them. Yeah. You'll know a few of their songs from TikTok when you listen.
Yeah.
Really great. I love Flow. I've been pushing them on my listeners for years, and I'm so happy to have new music for them. Also, the music video is really fun. It's very silly, campy, just like they basically go to like this girl group retreat and they're just like trying to survive in it. It's really fun. Loving this
Okay.
new release. Next up, we had Lizzo, Don't Make Me Love You. This one is very like 80s-esque. It's very funky. It's got this cool bass line. It has a really cool key change at the end of it from the bridge into the final chorus. And I feel like it's a sticky situation for some people because of just everything that's gone on with her. And like there should be like classes taught on like the way that she was truly dominating the world in 2019, and then just like the whole world shut down in 2020.
Crazy.
But like now it's just like people are like she's in the Kia Asylum, which I'm like, let's stop with all of that nonsense. But like
Yeah.
it is really crazy the way she has kind of just like fully kind of entered this other side of music where like she's not, I mean, Truth Hurts was everywhere in 2019.
So big.
Yeah, but I'm liking this song. I don't think it's anything like to
Yeah.
go crazy about. However, she did talk to Kelly Clarkson about it last year. And she told Kelly that this is about my relationship with the public. And it's like, don't make me love you if you're going to drag me. Excuse me, I'm reading farther this week. She said, don't make me love you if you're going to just drag me the next day. Don't build the false sense of security and community if you're just going to throw me away. It's so toxic. So tonight you either love me or leave me because I'm not wanting my time. I'm not wasting my time. No more trying to gain nobody's approval. And I think this is a really great way for her. I mean, she released that EP last year, but it didn't really, or mixtape, but it didn't really do anything crazy. She just had like a creative bug. I think this is a really good way
Yeah.
for her to kind of enter the culture again. She does have this kind of dark cloud over her, but I think it was a very digestible song. It's a tune that everybody can like. It's not anything crazy, but
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah, I feel kind of the same way about it as you do. Like it was fine. I like the 80s esque of it all, but I feel like it's kind of been done in this decade
Sure.
already.
Yeah.
I've personally never been like a huge Lizzo fan, even when she was at the top of her game. It was just
Hmm.
like I was happy that she was having the success, but I wasn't like yes, I need to listen to her new album and all of the songs.
Hmm.
But yeah, it should be studied in classrooms, the fall she had.
It's
Like
crazy.
insane.
And even like
Yeah.
considering like the way that like the dancers, all those allegations did kind of get dismissed and like proven that it wasn't true,
Yes.
but they're still like, I always say like media literacy is so dead. Like
Mm-hmm.
people people hear one thing and they stick with that forever. And like obviously
Yeah.
allegations are very serious and I'm never going to put
Yeah.
them down or say like, oh, this isn't real or whatever. But there
And it's
are
hard too
so
because
many.
like what do we know, you know? Like
Totally,
we know
yeah.
what we are dealing like we're trying to figure out the cards we're dealt with and
100%.
trying to believe victims, but it's getting into like a sticky situation when you actually have no idea what happened.
It's so sticky. And like there's three sides to every story. Lizzo's side, the
Yes.
dancer side, and what really happened. So it's so hard
Yeah,
to so I try to separate the art from the artist because I do
me
really
too.
like Lizzo and I think she is very talented. She's musically trained. Like
Yeah.
she's very good at she has a good ear, she's good at producing. So I always try to go into her
Yeah.
music now with like that fresh kind of mind. I will say the music video is very fun. She's like sitting at a dinner table back. Did you watch it or did you just listen?
So because Spotify has music videos
Oh
now, and
yes,
so when
yeah.
I was listening to this song, I had the music video playing, but I was like kind of tuned in, kind of not. But
Yeah,
it's a
it's
cool
like
vibe.
her kind of singing to herself, with kind of enforces that idea of like talking to the public. And then at the end of it, she recreates the album cover for Cause I Love You, where she's like sitting. I mean, that album cover was also like so controversial. They were like, why
Iconic.
is a fat black woman sitting naked? It's like, cause everybody has a body and
It's so
everyone looks
iconic
fine.
though.
So iconic. And she recreates it at the end. So I was like, that's a nice little nod to who she was and like reminding us, like, hey, I'm still Lizzo, like it's
Yeah,
still me and we can
that's
kind of
true.
continue that narrative going forward. But
Yeah.
I'm into it. I'm curious to see like what the rest of the album sounds like because this is so like 80s funky kind of inspired. I'm like, are we going to get more of like an R&B vibe? Like she kind of meshes a lot of genres. So I'm really curious to see how she approaches this whole album when it does come out.
Yeah.
The next one is an artist who I discovered recently, though she is from she's been the lead singer of, oh my God, I'm totally Mr. Wives, I believe. Her name is Cherry Bomb. I talked about her with you guys a couple weeks ago because her debut single, Never Be Me, came out and I am loving it. I've been having it on repeat. It is so good. And she released her second single, Digital Girl, and I am loving it. The production is explosive. It starts very simple and it keeps growing. It's fun. It's got this like it takes you on a journey and it's just you guys know I love an upbeat, fun, dancey song and this is exactly what that is. It's so much fun. She got such a unique voice and I'm loving what she is putting out and I'm so excited to see where the rest of her music goes.
This was the other song that I really liked. It
Hmm.
was this one and the Flow song. And I also have never listened to this artist either. So this is one that I'm gonna have to maybe check out the single you were just talking about, the Never
Yeah,
Be Me
it's
single.
that I do like that one better.
Okay.
But just
Wow, this was a great song
but
too.
yeah, I just like I don't know why. I just do. Sonically, I don't know. I
Yeah.
like that one better, but this one
Yeah.
is not far behind it. Really, really into.
Okay.
She has a really cool like vibe too. She's got like a very clear vision for her
I
solo
noticed
career.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very like nostalgic. She like mailed out USB flash drives with the song on it to like some of her
Whoa, that's
fans.
cool.
They were like bedazzled, very Y2K, just really cool vibes she's bringing, and I'm really into it.
Like that.
Um, the next song is Amelia Moore, Prom Queen. So I actually am seeing Amelia tomorrow, open for Zara Larson. So that's why she's been on
Cool.
my radar. I'm so
Jealous.
excited. And I discovered her when she was announced to be opening for Zara. And I started listening to her and I was like, oh, she's got a cool vibe. She's got kind of like this R&B, poppy, kind of very unique sound. And this is her debut single from her upcoming album. And I'm loving it. It's really cool. She's got a really beautiful voice. Like her vocals are really, really nice. And I think it's really
Yep.
fun when somebody she has beautifully clear vocals, but she still experiments. She'll just do like the safe route with like, I'm just gonna go pop and do like what would sell. She really plays around with that like R&B sound a little bit. She gets a little electronic on some songs. She's really creative in that. And I'm actually curious
Hmm.
what you think about this because I think she's a very unique artist, but she's so talented.
Yeah, obviously it wasn't my top two. The other
Yeah.
two spots took that. However, I did think that she sounded great. I think she's one that I'll probably like keep my eye on
Yeah.
and see what else she puts out because she's pretty new still.
Very new.
But I do think She has like a sound and an aesthetic that kind of feels familiar, but
Hmm.
I'm not discrediting it because I do like that aesthetic. Like
Totally. Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
complain that it's like unoriginal when I go to those that aesthetic
when
all the
it's
time.
when that's
So,
what people want to hear, right? I think she just got a
exactly.
really cool ear. She's worked with like Julia Michaels, Espa, Fly on a
Oh,
Boss. So she's worked with some cool artists as well. And like
yeah.
Justin Bieber's like talked about her before and said like, "Oh, I'm loving this
Oh,
vibe."
cool.
Billie Eilish just commented on her TikTok recently and was like, "You're unbelievable."
Wow.
I just think she's gonna have a really cool
Yeah.
trajectory over the next couple years, whether it's her own music or writing for people. I think she's one to watch, and I'm really excited to kind of see that continue to grow. And then the last release is actually didn't come out last week, or it came out the week before, but it was something that I was seeing people talk about a lot. And I was like, I need to get into this. It is Hot and Freddie's new album, Big Disgrace. It's their debut album. I have not been obsessed with an album like this in a very long time. I am running it into the ground. Like I bought tickets to see them in June after listening to it just a couple times. I was like, I need to see them. They are so unique and like very like Kate Bush 80s kind of vibe, but it's theatrical and dramatic and it's exciting. And it's like the album takes you on all these different turns. It is phenomenal. And I'm like, I listened to it the first time and I was like, this is going to be a problem. Like, I am going to run this album into the ground this year because it is so unique from anything anyone else is doing. And I
Okay.
truly cannot get enough of it. And I think,
Yeah.
did you listen to any of it? I know it is an album, so it's a
So,
little, it's
yeah, is
more
this the title
intimidating.
track? I
I
listened to
don't,
one song from this album.
I don't think I'm still in the era of like, I know the songs, but not the names, like I like
Yeah.
can hear them, but I'm like, I don't know what they're
Because
called yet.
I think I searched it on Spotify thinking it was a song, and I definitely clicked something
Something.
from
Yeah.
them that
They're
popped up, and I listened to it. But I need to give the album a chance, the whole
give the
album.
album a chance because and I'm a stickler, listen in order. I think it's
Yeah, me too.
very there's a very cool kind of through line of this like dramatic theatrical vibe to it. My favorite tracks on it are Anti Superstar and Showgirl at Heart, and
Okay.
I don't know what it is about this album. I just think it's so unique and the production is so cool, and the two of them are songwriters that came together and made this duo, and they've written for some big names, Britney, Madonna, like they've written for big people. So now they've come together and they actually debuted in 2024, but I'm just hearing about them now. But this is their first
Yeah.
album, and the album is all of their singles, so it's not like they have an EP or anything. It's all been kind of leading up to making this bigger project. And I'm genuinely like obsessed. Like I was like, when are they touring? I need to go see them. I bought tickets. Like
Yeah.
I'm obsessed. And like for me to be like, I need to go see them and just like commit, I was like, no, I'm in there. Like I have to go. I was sending it to everyone. I was like, guys, listen to this album. It's just so different than anything I'm hearing from anyone else. And I'm loving it. So I'm excited for you to listen.
Cool.
Like, definitely let me know your thoughts because I think
I
you'll be
will.
into it. Knowing like what the way that you talk about music, I think you have a really
Yeah.
creative and a really good ear to like describing
Yeah.
certain samples or things like that. I think you have a good way of like knowing the samples and knowing like what kind
Oh, thank
of
you.
John, yeah, you have a good way of like speaking about music. So I think hearing the like technicalities of this album, you'll be like, whoa, even
Okay.
if you don't love it for like replay value, I think just the musicality of it, you'll be like, this
Okay.
is really impressive. And if you don't, I'll eat
Cool.
my words.
If I don't, it'll be okay. There's plenty
Yeah,
of music I listen to that I don't
so
go
much
back to,
music.
you
Of
know?
course.
That's fine. That's the whole point.
Exactly. And then coming up this week, we have a lot on the radar this week. So we have new albums from Robin, Slater, and Ray, which I cannot wait for them. I've been talking about
Yeah.
Robin and Slater's album for months, and I'm so excited for these albums. We also have a new single from Fly on a Boss, which I'm very excited for. And our girl, Miley, is dropping Younger You on streaming. Now, of course, we have heard it. We'll chat about it later on, but we are getting, I guess, technically a new song, even though it was in it's new, but we've all heard it in the special by now. But we will chat about
Yeah.
that in just a little bit. But that will be out on streaming this Friday. And we're still in this limbo with Olivia Rodrigo,
Yeah.
where this is now my third
Girl.
episode where I'm like, are we getting it this Friday? And I have this like running joke with myself where I'm like, once I start to say 3-4 weeks in a row, we're teasing an album, I'm like, all right, it's too long. I don't care who you
I'm
are.
over it.
You can't tease an album for 3 weeks. You
Yeah, it's
can't do
true.
that. You've got to you tease it, you drop it within a week or 2 weeks tops. All we
At
know is
least
that
a
it's called love.
song. Yeah.
That's all we know. I'm like, girl, I get it, you're
Yeah.
Olivia Rodrigo and like driver's license like smashed every record ever, but like we're now, So maybe we'll get
Yeah.
Olivia Rodrigo this Friday. Honestly, maybe we won't, and I kind of hope we don't because there's so much other music to consume. But I'm like,
Yeah.
girl, we gotta get into this new album. Like you gotta get ready
Yep.
for it.
Yeah.
And that wraps up our Drew releases, which means it is time to dive into some pop culture rapid fire, our moments from the week that were just too pop to handle. But before we get into all of our pop culture nonsense, I always like to take this time to remind you guys that if at any point during this episode you are loving what you were hearing, go ahead and leave me a 5-star rating wherever you are listening, whether it's Apple, Spotify, if you're on YouTube. Drop a like, hit subscribe. It is literally free, $0 and 0 cents, but you don't get anything for free anymore. So show me some love. Do not be shy. It would seriously mean the world to me. But of course, I need to give you a show to find out if you are loving it before you give me a rating. So let's dive in. And you guys, I have been dying to talk about the Taylor Frankie Paul of it all. Last week I was saying, when I recorded last week, we didn't know anything about what was happening with the Bachelorette. We knew cameras were down for season 5, but we didn't know what was happening. Holy shit, has a lot happened. Now, Molly, do you watch or do you know anything going on with this?
Unfortunately, I do.
Okay.
Okay, so I've watched like the first episode of Mormon Wives,
Okay.
or like maybe the first few episodes, and I couldn't
Mhm.
really get into it, but I tried to, right? Because I want to
Yeah.
know what everyone's talking about. That's the whole thing. And then I also know that she was going on The Bachelorette. Like I know
Mhm.
that this was a whole thing, and I
Yeah.
knew about the controversy that we're still talking about that caused ABC to cancel The Bachelorette. Like I knew this happened years ago.
Yes. Well, because on the first episode of the first season, we
Yeah.
watched Taylor get arrested for this on a police body cam. So we'll get into that
Yeah.
in a second because that's a whole nother part of it where I'm
Yeah.
like, why now? So if you don't know, which with love, you must be living under a rock because it's like the biggest news story ever. There was a video. I'm going with it was sold to TMZ by Dakota, her baby daddy, who is the most toxic man on the planet, of
Yeah.
her throwing a chair, not just at him, but around her daughter, ends up hitting the daughter. And that is the police report that we see play out in the first episode of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. That video gets leaked. There's already rumors about The Bachelorette getting canceled because there was all these domestic violence cases coming out, which I want to preface, I am never going to say that is okay. Anything I'm saying, I'm not like, I understand because like there's an excuse, but there you will get there. So ABC pulls the plug on The Bachelorette. Honestly, I'm not shocked. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not surprised by this. And I feel like people are like, oh my God, I that's the right thing to do.
No, it is. I'm kind of surprised. Yeah, you marked it in the notes that $100 million loss. Like that
Yeah.
is crazy that they did a whole season. And somebody made a joke. They were like, all the men that were banking on becoming
Yes.
influencers and like selling courses online after this, what are they gonna
Yep.
do now? I mean, there was a lot that was at stake, I will say.
Totally. And now the men are like trying to sue ABC, but I think in their contract, like it does say, like, hey, you don't get, we get to
Yeah.
call the final thing. And like, if you're going on The Bachelorette to become an influencer or famous, it's the same thing as Love Island. People go on there just to get famous
Yeah.
these days. So it's like that's not the point of it.
Yeah.
But if anybody's watching Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, I said this last week, the Bachelorette season was doomed before it even started because we literally watched Taylor in this season go back to Dakota over and over and over again. The night
Oh,
before
really?
she, oh girl, the night
I didn't know
before she
that.
leaves, the night before she leaves for the Bachelorette, she sleeps with Dakota. M-
What? Maybe I need to
misses
watch this show again.
misses her flight, fully misses her flight, gets a later flight, pulls up to the Bachelorette house on the phone with Dakota and said, all right, I'm here, I gotta go, and hangs up with him. So we knew she was never going to fully commit to anybody anyway, because they live in this toxic tango back and forth where they just can't quit each other. And like clearly she wasn't ready for this experience at
Yeah.
all. And I made the point last week that Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, like they are filming nonstop. They're filming season 5 as season 4 is airing. Like
Yeah.
they on season 4, they're filming while they're recording the reunion for season 3. So like cameras are always up for these women. And like I can't think of a worse person to be on camera 24/7 than Taylor Frankie Paul. Like it's so bad.
Yeah, I feel like ABC was like, okay, The Bachelor and The Bachelorette shows slowly but surely dying out,
Right.
right? The ratings are going, they're dropping. They were like, well, everyone is infatuated or at least tuned in for this Taylor girl who's
Yeah.
very controversial. How about we get her to be on here? That'll get people to tune in again. However, there is a line with the controversial person, right? Like
Right.
you could say Miley Cyrus was controversial during the Bangers era. That's a completely different controversial
Then
person that would
domestic
attract
violence.
viewers then, and they knew that this was like, yeah, the start of the show. Even I knew it, and I only watched the first two episodes. So that's crazy though that she was still talking to him. Like
Oh,
I didn't know that.
like very not just talking, like sleeping with, crying over. He's bringing a new girl around on this season, and she's like, "I'm gonna go beat that bitch up. How dare she speak to Dakota? Like, how
They're
could you
both
do this to me?"
crazy.
They're so
That's crazy.
I've never seen two worse people for each other in my life, and I don't understand why somebody isn't stepping in and like physically removing them from each other's life. They do have a kid together, so I understand that.
They
But like,
do.
oh yeah, well that's why there's this tie because they have the kid and they have to obviously co-parent. But it's like I as a child of divorce, like there's a way
Same.
to like see your parents without have the grandmother. The kids are also with the
Yeah.
grandmother 24/7. Like her mom
Mm.
and sister moved to LA with her so they could take care of the kids, which I do think is very nice that ABC was
Yeah.
going to let her see her kids while she's there. And like I do think she's a good mom, minus the chair. But like I do think she does care obviously about the kids and everything. And like she does have their best interests. But I do wonder like how much is she taking care of them versus her mom and sister? It's
Oh,
just it's
yeah.
a really sticky situation, and now we're seeing ABC. This is rumored, and I hate Dumois. I hate to bring Dumois to the podcast, and like it's always like maybe a
But
blind item,
she is part of the culture,
but she is part of the
unfortunately.
culture, and she does get the news. And she posted
Yeah.
today that an ABC exec is apparently trying to tap Maura Higgins, who is just off of Traders and was on Love Island, who people are obsessed with right now. They're trying to tap her for a Love Island esque Bachelorette, where it would be live recording it in real time like they do Love Island with her as the Bachelorette. So I don't know. And Maura did comment eye emojis on it. So whether she's just like doing that to be silly, whether it is, I don't know. But like you said, $100 million is a crazy amount of money to lose. Like,
Yeah.
so they have to fill that spot somehow. And they filled this Sunday with American Idol reruns, which like it is not, we are not calling Idol 01 to vote for Kelly Clarkson right now.
Yeah.
Nothing's happening on American Idol in 2026. Like
Yeah.
that is not filling the ad space for the Bachelorette, especially Taylor Frankie Paul's Bachelorette. So they've got to do
Yeah.
something just from a business standpoint, like it's just crazy. But like I was saying, we knew this happened. So why now do they pull the plug? Like why cast
Yeah.
if you cast her for this and you knew this happened and now you draw the line of the video when we saw her get arrested for it, why is this, it's just to protect their ass.
Yeah. And like, I've seen this going around too, is people talking about, well, if you're going to cancel The Bachelorette, you got to cancel the NFL and all
Chris
this stuff.
Brown. Yeah, like
Yeah. So many people, like, so many men, right? Like, that have been in these same situations, just
mhm.
as public over the years. And you don't really, people just kind of forget about it,
Yeah,
right?
Chris Brown is selling out stadiums to this day. And
Yeah,
like,
he is.
yeah, it was years ago, but like he's had multiple offenses of like, remember when he smashed the window at the Today Show or Good Morning America a couple years ago?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
he is a
I forgot about that, see, because I don't see people talking about it.
because it gets lost in the news cycle, but we will
Yeah.
never stop hearing about Taylor Frankie Paul throwing a
No.
chair, which again, domestic
Yeah.
violence, whether you're a man or a woman, is not okay. But the standard in which society, I mean, not just society, it's everyone holds men and women. But in the situation, it's so wild because like we're having NFL players who are literally getting or MLB like all over the place abusing their wives, their girlfriends, and they're like, all right, you're gonna
Yeah.
sit out for 3 games. And it's like here's a slap on the wrist, but now Taylor's season gets pulled. And it's like she is getting paid her full salary for the Bachelorette. Like they are gonna pay her for it still. But that exposure for her, I mean, this is also great exposure. So I don't really think she cares. I don't think she's losing sleep
I
over this.
know.
But it's just like, it's such an unfortunate situation because this could have been a really new start for her. But it's clear she didn't go into it wanting it to be a new start. She just went into it for the exposure and like wanted it to
I
be
agree.
funny. It's just she was in
I'd
it for the wrong reasons.
that's kind of how I feel about her fame in general. It's kind
Yeah,
of when I think of her, I think of like, oh, this is like making the wrong people famous.
totally. Yeah. And like, I don't necessarily think
Uh,
she's like I don't think she's a great person. I don't think she's a bad person.
Yeah.
I think she's just
Yeah.
like, she found fame on
I don't
TikTok
know
and
her.
like spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know these people. So it's like, who knows? And like, I watched the rest of the show and the girls are like, when cameras aren't up, she is so different. She's not like this. So it is, whether it's hamming it up for the camera or whatever. But like, even if I went to her TikTok the other day because I was just curious, like, what is her most popular TikTok? And all of her most popular TikToks are her just like trolling people. She like would say like,
Yes.
"Oh, I have a baby and I'm a grandmother now," and like two of the girls who were on the show would come in and say they're her twin daughters, and she would be like, "Yeah, I'm 50 years old," which clearly is her just rage baiting. She would do this whole sketch
Yeah.
of like her house is haunted, and like she
Yeah.
was just rage baiting people, which it works and it sells. And look at her now, it works. I understand, but like you said, it's making the wrong people famous, and it just, unfortunately, I can't
Yeah.
look away. But I'm like, God, this is
Same.
so crazy.
It's
Um,
nuts.
it's nuts. Quick final thoughts on the season of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives because I hadn't finished it last time. I will rapid fire through this. Dakota is just as toxic as she is. Dakota is just as fault as Taylor is. Whether he's recording the video and the chair is being thrown by her, he also probably did something to set her off. Not okay to react like that. Dakota is just as scummy as she is. Michaela and Jace getting a divorce, I think, is the best thing that the two of them can do for each other. I did know this was happening. It wasn't breaking on the show for me because I saw it online, but I am very excited for Michaela to have this new era of single and Jace to go on and find what he needs. I think the two of them have a lot of healing to do separately. And I'm excited to kind of see how Michaela not even goes into like single life as like single mom dating. Like, I think Michaela is truly going to like find herself and like heal a lot of her health problems, heal a lot of her, she has a lot of trauma she's dealt with, and I think this alone time is going to help her a lot. And then finally, Jesse and Jordan. Thank God they are getting a divorce because they are right under Dakota and Taylor in the toxic fucking pool of Secret Legend Mormon wives. However, I'm halfway through Jesse Young call her daddy. Jordan, you are not seeing heaven. Like, you are a bad person. He's basically, Jesse said they've been on and off wanting to get a divorce for the last two seasons, just to bring you up to speed. And anybody who doesn't listen, they've been a conversation for the last two seasons. Jesse had a minor cheating scandal. She kissed somebody while she was filming Vanderpump Villa. But there was a lot going on at home. Does not excuse cheating, but she didn't just do it because she was like, I'm bored. Like, there was other stuff going on. We just find out that he was paying for escorts while this was happening and she knew about it. So he makes this big deal about her cheating on him, kissing this guy on this show. Meanwhile, she's keeping the secret of him hiring escorts while he's on work trips and isn't exposing it. So like, he truly is so evil and manipulative, and I'm so happy that Jesse is getting out of it because Jesse, Michaela, Macy are my three favorites on the show. And I'm very happy that Jesse is like, absolutely not. I'm out. I'm done. I need to keep listening to the episode. So any final thoughts I'll put in the newsletter this weekend. But those are my thoughts on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives season 4. Who the fuck knows what we're getting for season 5? Truly, like, I don't know what's gonna happen. Jesse said on the call her daddy, like, we don't know. Cameras are down. We're just gonna kind of roll with the punches. But this Taylor Frankie Paul stuff, like, this is kind of irreversible damage to not just her, but like the franchise. So I'm curious to see if Mom Talk can survive this, as the age old question goes.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Crazy. Moving in to the next topic, Chappell Roan is in the news again for basically some type of public issue, which is just the common thread now. So there was this soccer player who his daughter was at a hotel in Brazil while she was there for Lollapalooza, and she like saw her walking past. Her mom said, "Go see if it's her." She walked past her. The story goes, she walked past her table. She looked at Chappell. A couple minutes later, a security guard came over and reprimanded her and fully like yelled at this little girl and said, "You should be minding your business." Whatever. Now we know Chappell. She's testy. And I don't make excuses for it.
Yeah.
There's no way, whether she did this or not, you don't treat a human being like this. But I can't help but think if this was a male pop star, they would have been
Yeah.
like, he's setting a boundary. He's standing his ground. Good for him. He's
True.
he's telling people how to act. And like, this is not, it's not okay. Whether it was her security guard or not, because that's the other side of the story coming out of like, I wasn't my security guard. I do not hate children. Like, I didn't send him over. I don't know who it was. And now there's and again, similar to Dumois, I tried to take Daily Mail with an even finer grain of salt, but now they're saying that was her security guard. I don't think this is okay for anyone to do, whether he was doing it to protect her as like a bystander or not. But I
Mhm.
also am like, if this was Justin Bieber, similar to what happened with Justin a couple weeks ago when he threw the water bottle at paparazzi, that got buried in the news cycle, just like
Yeah.
Chris Brown beating somebody up does. And it's like,
Yeah.
again, this double standard of like, none of this behavior is okay, but
Yeah.
it gets so blown out of proportion.
For sure. I think the thing with Chappell that's bothering me, because I'm a huge, listen, I love her music so much.
Yeah,
Like
same.
that album, I mean, I still play her. Like,
Unbelievable.
but I think it's because there's the multiple instances, right, that are all
Sure.
building up. And it's, to be honest, if you're mean to paparazzi, like I don't care.
Yeah.
Like when Justin Bieber is really mean to paparazzi,
Yeah.
Miley back in her day has had her issues, you
I'm
know.
not pregnant. I'm sick, bitch. My favorite clip.
Yeah.
I love that
Yeah,
clip of
like
Miley.
yes, treat them because they are annoying and
Yeah.
they're usually like these older creepy men that are following these like young girls around or young
Yeah.
boys around. And so I think when it comes to like a fan though, that's when I'm like, uh, because I'm a Miley stan and I mean, and you know, we've been here for 20 years now
Yeah.
and we've never heard any stories like this with her.
Right.
And she's went months without being seen by paparazzi.
Right. That's the other narrative that people are like, if you don't want to be seen, you can not be seen by paparazzi. And like, of course, this is like she's out to breakfast, like whatever. Yeah, you should
Yeah.
be able to like go out. But it's like whether or not she sent security, whether it was like security saw it and went over, like all of it just is like it's just not great.
It's not. It's rubbing me the wrong way. That's the only thing I
Totally.
can say is like I
Yeah.
love her music, trying to separate the art from the artist. So
Always.
it's been kind of hard and we're going to talk about her more in this episode.
Yes, we will. And like I always defend her and like I still do I don't think this is okay, but I do think that like there is a side in which like maybe she didn't like tell security to like go over and say anything. Like maybe she was like, hey, just like keep an eye, like somebody's coming. Like I do
Yeah.
think it could
Who
have there could
knows?
be yeah, who again, we don't know. But I do also think like the way it's getting blown out of proportion and like now the wife's posting a 6 minute video and all this stuff. I'm like, there it's getting
Yeah.
blown out of a proportion that like we didn't need it to be. And I think again, if this was a male, they would have been like, yeah, good for you, standing your ground. Like, and not that he would ever do this, but like, imagine Travis Kelce had a situation like this. They'd be like, good for him. He's standing up for himself and like setting a boundary. And again, none of this behavior is okay.
Or
But there's
Jason
this
Kelsey.
yes,
I think
right.
Jason Kelsey did that with a phone, right? He
Oh
like
my
took
God,
someone's
yes,
phone and
yeah.
like threw it down.
And they're like, yeah, good for you. Like, he, what, and it's like,
Yeah,
are we
for
watching the
sure.
same things? You know, it's just so
Yeah.
bizarre. But I like, from like a human to human perspective, I like worry about Chapel. I'm like, is she gonna like she's gonna like have a mental breakdown eventually, I think. Like I
I
do think
know.
it's like slowly happening, but I think like eventually like this is going to add up because the world does seem to be against her. Unfortunately, like
Yeah.
ever since that VMA moment where she called out that paparazzi and like the whole situation,
Yeah.
like the world has kind of just been like going against her. She's been able to hold a really good head on her shoulder, so it seems. But like it is going to it's gonna bite her eventually. Like her music's gotta be
Yep.
killer for the next album for the general public to really vibe with it the way they did with Hot to Go. You know?
No, I totally agree. And I just feel like not everyone is fit for all this attention and fame. Like it's a very
Totally.
unusual thing to
Yeah.
go through. And it happened to her so quick. And
So
I think
quick.
she's kind of having a hard time navigating what to do with a lot of these feelings.
For sure. It's unfortunate. It's you know, it's kind of I'm curious like how she navigates her next like album cycle and era and like how she does press and things and like I don't know. I'm very curious, especially like we interview people all the time at work. So it's like we'll like send questions to somebody and they're like, hey, you can only ask these three out of the 10 you sent. And some of them are like, ask me anything. And like I'm curious like how she navigates that going forward. Like, will her PR
Mhm.
team be like super strict or will she just like not do press and like rely on like word of mouth? Like, I don't know. I'm curious to see how she kind of approaches it. There's also a world, honestly, I could see her going off the face of the earth and never releasing music again. Riding this out, maybe going as like a
Me too.
ghostwriter and just never doing it again and like that's so Chappell Roan, you know, for Chappell Roan to
Yeah.
release one album after working 10 years trying to make it big, it would be so Chappell, you know, like it would make sense.
Yeah.
So there's so many different avenues I think she could go. So I'm curious to see like how she addresses it. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
But
For sure.
we are seeing a rise and a fall of a Midwest princess. She did name the album
Yeah.
very appropriately.
It's true.
Next up is a story that I this is music to my ears. This got released on the first day of Aries season, and I said, I don't need a birthday gift. I don't need to celebrate my birthday. This is everything I need and more. Justin Timberlake, the fucking dog that you are. We got his body cam footage. Now, I don't know your stance on Justin Timberlake, and I don't judge people if they still love whatever. I hate the man. Like very
Yeah.
famously hate him.
Okay, so Justin Timberlake, I don't keep up with him. I
Okay.
think for reasons of like I just don't care.
Yeah.
Because I read Britney's book, and obviously like if you read the book, you know of a lot of the things that Justin
Mm-hmm.
I think legally I have to say allegedly. I don't know.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
but like you've all like there's also been a lot of other instances in the early 2000s of him just being like kind of trash, and we just kind of didn't notice that he was doing that at the time because it
Yep.
was the early 2000s. I mean, listen, I like his early music though. I'm not gonna
Incredible.
lie, it still comes up on some of my playlists, and like what comes around goes around. Like,
The
I'm
whole
sorry.
2020 experience, that whole album,
And that one.
unbelievable. I
Yeah,
mean, Future Sex and Love Songs, like or Sound,
that
whatever.
one.
He
Yes.
has an incredible discography. Like, there's no denying that. But like,
But yeah.
it's like, oh, cool, separating the art from the artist, I guess. Like,
He's
it's
a douchebag
so
though, for
a
sure.
douchebag. And so
Yeah.
he got arrested last year, and the whole thing, this is going to ruin the tour.
Yes.
He's been petitioning for the body cam footage to not get released. He's like, I don't want it to get released. Please do not release this. It's going to ruin my career. They said
Do you know
no.
why they released it?
That's everybody's body cam footage gets released like
Yeah.
legally in, I don't know if it's a New York thing or a Long Island thing. It happened in Southampton, which
Okay.
is like 30 minutes from where I grew up. But
Gotcha.
I've had friends who have gotten arrested for a DUI, and like I've found their body cam footage. Like everybody's body
Oh
cam footage,
wow.
if you want to find it, at least on Long Island, it is
Yeah.
accessible. I don't know what that law
Interesting.
is, but like you just don't hear
Yeah.
about it because it's not Justin Timberlake, like, but you
Yeah,
can
that's
find it
true.
and you can request it. So
Gotcha.
we petition. They say, No, you're no different than anyone else. Just because you're Justin Timberlake. And like, okay, hear me out. Drinking and driving is not funny. I'm not laughing at this. I'm not
Correct.
like, oh my God, haha, look at this. But seeing this man stressed out and just like they were like, what do you do for a living? And he was like, it's kind
Being
of
treated like a
complicated.
normal person.
Yeah, seeing him like get knocked off his high horse, I was like, good.
Yeah.
Make him feel as small as you
Humbled.
can because he needs it. He's like, oh, I'm on a world
Yeah.
tour. I'm Justin Timberlake. And like tries to and I'm like, you are, even when you're getting pulled over for a DUI, you are still on this high horse. And I just, again, there's
Yeah.
nothing funny about it. There's nothing funny about drinking and driving.
Yeah,
Anyone
of
gets a
course.
DUI, it could be my favorite person in the world, and I'm going to be like, what the fuck are you doing? Especially
Yeah.
when, I mean, Britney Spears last week or 2 weeks ago, and I was saying, like,
Uh,
Britney Spears just sold her catalog for millions of dollars. You can call an Uber. Justin Timberlake,
yeah.
you're on a world tour. Use some of that money to call an Uber. Like, there's no
Yeah.
world in which anybody
Well, and
should
they're
have
also
that.
grown. They're also grown. Like,
Yes.
so
Right.
everyone makes mistakes. I'm very happy no one was hurt
Of course.
for both of those instances.
Yeah.
However, like you said, how he responded in the body cam footage, he was like, they were like, oh, what do you do for a living? He's like, I'm on a tour. Why didn't you just say like,
Like,
I sing
oh,
and I dance?
I'm a yeah, like,
Yeah,
or
I'm a
like,
performer.
it would have been like more if he would have just been like, oh, I'm Justin Timberlake, I'm a performer. Like, if he would have like, he should have name dropped himself, not to get out of it, but like that would have made it a
Yeah.
lot more like, I would have been like, okay, at least he like used it. Like,
Yeah,
no one should, obviously famous people should be held to the same caliber, but like
sure.
use it. Hello, you're fucking Justin Timberlake. I could hate your guts
I'm
and I
dead
still,
that cop didn't know.
I know, I'm obsessed.
You're
But
like, that's my favorite part.
the fact that we didn't get to hear him say this is going to ruin the tour, like the
Yeah.
one line they didn't release, I'm like, guys, this is the moment I've been waiting for. Like, I've been saying that since it happened.
Yeah.
And I was like, we're finally going to get the footage of Justin Timberlake saying it. And we never do. And I'm like, one day,
And
maybe.
you think he actually said it?
Right. Maybe they like misinterpreted it. I don't know. I'm going to still live by saying this is going to ruin the tour.
Yeah.
Like, it's what I go for. Like when I have a
It's
minor
iconic.
inconvenience, because it's so
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, like this whole idea of like he wanted it to not be released or whatever, and like he did kind of live this like untouchable life through the 90s and the early 2000s, like you were saying,
Yeah.
like the Janet Jackson scandal, the whole Britney Spears of it all, the Jessica Alba cheating scandal. Like he's kind of gotten away with all of these things, and the fact that he fully expected to be like, oh hey, just a reminder, I'm Justin Timberlake. Don't drop my body cam footage, and they still dropped it. This is music to my ears. Happy Aries season to me.
I
I
love that.
I was, and my first podcast episode ever was the week Britney's book came out, and my first mess
Oh,
ever is Justin Timberlake. Like it is in the Too Pop to Handle history books that like he is my
wow.
first mess ever, and so anytime I can clown on this man, I do it.
Yeah. Wow. What a full circle moment.
It
Honored to
every
be here for it.
Yeah, truly. This is a big moment for the Too Pop to Handle girls. We are all celebrating his downfall. But somebody's downfall that we are never celebrating. We are always rooting for my baby, if you will, underrated hit from Bangers. Miley Cyrus, Hannah Montana, 20th anniversary. The reason Mollie is here, I mean, obviously because she's also just great at what she does, but she's in her
Aw,
Hannah
thanks.
shirt. She was at the
Yeah, one of
event.
them.
We have to talk about this special. So, first things first, thank God they didn't fumble this because I was a little nervous a couple
Okay.
months ago. In January when High School Musical 20 happened, they did nothing.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
I swear to God, if they fumble Hannah 20, even with Miley saying it last year, I still had this fear that like Disney, even I know she's Disney legend and all of that, but I was just like, if they fumble
Yeah.
the Hannah 20, I will be so disappointed. But they truly knocked it out of the park, whether it's Miley's team, the Disney Channel team, whoever it is, the pop-ups, the merch, Miley recreating the
Yes.
Disney Channel commercial. Like they really did a standout job for this
Yeah.
anniversary. What do you think about everything, all the camaraderie around it?
Oh my gosh, just like you said, they did so much. I feel like Hannah Montana is everywhere. Like it's 2006
Everywhere.
again.
Yeah.
Starbucks, DoorDash. It's I made a joke because I was I was like telling my fiance, I'm like, Hannah Montana is everywhere. And like this is me all year round, like with Hannah Montana.
You're
I'm
like, my
like, but
culture is
everyone,
not your costume.
that's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I was gonna say. I was joking with him. I go, my culture's not your costume. But
No,
truly, I love deep
it's
down. I
great.
love that everyone is rooting for her, and like, it's always great to see the general public be on Miley's side because,
Hmm.
as you know, there's been many times where they haven't been.
Yeah.
But the transition they did in the special was amazing. I mean, even just inviting fans to
Yeah.
the taping, absolutely insane. Um,
Unbelievable.
we have so much to get into, but
I
I think
know.
overall, I love it. The only complaint I saw from people was that the cast wasn't in the
Yeah.
special, which we're going to get into,
We'll get
which
into it. Yeah.
I have thoughts about
So do
that.
I. I
Um,
understand. I don't. It's like a whole. Yeah.
yeah, there could have been
Yeah.
so many different directions they could have
Totally.
went.
Yeah.
So,
I am very thrilled that they gave a whole premiere. I think that was like very well received. I think doing it at like El Capitan was so iconic. I mean, that is such a staple in Disney history. And like seeing the way they did it, seeing that outfit she wore was unbelievable. Like
oh my
she
gosh.
has never looked better. Truly, like she looks the healthiest, the happiest. Like she really looks
Yes.
unbelievable. And like the custom shirt, the dress, everything about it. We did see Moises Arias, Jason Earls, Shanika Knowles, Anna Maria Perez de Tagli. Like we did see some of the cast there, which I say, I mean, not all of them, but like these aren't like the A-list cast members. So I was kind of shocked
Yeah.
that like we didn't get everyone, but also like I guess we can just like get into like the Emily Osment, Mitchell Musso of it all.
Sure. Yeah.
Mitchell, I understand. And I loved Mitchell growing up. Like I went to see him on a solo tour. I was like a huge Mitchell fan, aside from Hannah as well. He's had a rough couple of years, and I could see where
For sure.
Disney maybe doesn't want to applaud that.
Yeah.
Emily,
Or,
I'm shocked about, but get into your Mitchell stuff.
well, Mitchell, my theory was he seems like he's very removed from the public eye.
Yeah.
And so that's a good point. Maybe Disney made that decision, but I could also have seen him being like, I'm not interested in walking a carpet, talking to people and being
Press.
in the public eye. I wonder if because he's had so many problems, not problems, but like he's had some rough
Ish,
years, like you
yeah.
said.
Yeah. And it's sad. And
But
I mean,
love
like,
him
I always,
forever.
of course. I mean, it's Oliver Oken. Like, hello. Like, I
Yeah.
always say, both of my parents were in recovery. So, like, I always take anyone who has, like, any recovery, substance issues, stuff like that. Like, I'm always like, nobody understands. I mean, I don't understand what it is, just as a child of someone who went through that. But, like, you can't imagine
Same.
what an addict goes
Yeah.
through. Yeah, like you don't know what they're going through unless you are in their shoes. So like you said,
Yes.
maybe he's not comfortable in the public eye. There could be like some element of him being like, I've had a kind of fucked up past. Like I don't know if I want to be, or I wonder if like Disney didn't open it to him, which like that makes me sad. And it kind of ties into this idea of like Emily Osment not being there. And now I work, if anyone doesn't know, I work at Paramount. So I'm on the CBS socials and whatever. And she is one of our clients. So we're joking in the office, like, oh my God, we're the reason Emily Osment wasn't there. She was filming our show, so she couldn't go. However,
I
the Paramount lot is about a 15-minute drive from where they did the Hannah
saw
everything.
that.
And I imagine they would give her a couple hours to go film the special or walk the carpet.
Right.
And I just wonder, like, she's not someone on opposite sides. She hasn't had like a really problematic past or anything. Like she's been
Mm.
in, she's been multiple shows, things like that. So it is like, what happened there, you know?
My theory, love Emily. I've always thought that her and Miley have had like a weird chemistry while they were doing the show. Like they always had this undoubtful love for each other and respect because of just them growing up together.
Mhm.
However, they're very different
Yeah.
from one another. And I feel like Emily saw this as like, well, it's not about me, so I don't need
Y-
to be there. Or I'm
Right.
I'm prioritizing what I'm doing now. I don't
Which
have
I
time to
respect.
look back. Yeah, it's
But girl,
her
is
video with her coworker. I'm like,
yeah.
what does he have to do with this?
Because his name's Montana. Like, I mean,
Oh
she has a
yeah.
job, but I was gonna say, get a job. Like, come on. It almost like adds fuel to the fire. And I always think, I don't know if you remember this tweet, but this tweet is burned into my memory when Miley unfollowed her in like 2012. And someone said, are
Oh,
you gonna unfollow Miley because she unfollowed you? She said, no, you never give up on your friends. You simply wait years if you have to for them to come back or something along those lines. And I'm like, well, girl, clearly you're not taking no advice. It's like it's just so wild that like they were even being in the special, which we'll get into in a second. Sure, walking the carpet. I'm like, at least walk the carpet.
yeah.
Just so bizarre to me. Um, but I was happy to see like Moises, Jason, all of them there. Even like Amber and Ashley, Shanika. I always, I'm not sure the pronunciation, but her and Anna, like them being there and they were like doing TikTok to like the oots. It was so funny and
Yes.
like so celebratory. Cody Lindley was there, like just really exciting stuff, for the Hannahverse.
I love Cody Lindley. I stand Cody Lindley in this household. He also stands Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, he's
He
obsessed.
loves her.
Loves her. It's so cute to see the way that they all are just so proud of her and like proud of what the show has become and like just really embrace it, because it hasn't always been
Mhm.
all of their approach nor Miley's approach to it. So it's nice to see the way that they're all
Correct.
coming together where they can. So now getting into this special, we've got to talk about you being there. I mean,
Yeah.
again, like I said, nobody deserves it more than you and Becky. I truly like
Thank you.
seeing you guys at Something Beautiful when we met at that event and like us doing our podcast and just like getting to know you guys over the last year and like seeing all the stuff that you do. It's like, I am
Same.
so happy you guys were there. Truly. Let's get into it. I mean, unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, first, I want to say I was going to bring that up. Meeting you at the Something Beautiful premiere last year, and then being able to like cheer you on the
Hmm.
sidelines, and like it's always cool getting to know people that are doing kind of the same thing you're doing,
Totally.
because it's a lot of relatability. Like you understand the sleepless nights and the
Yeah.
grind of it all. But we found out a few days before we went. I think we
Yeah.
found out on a Monday. We had to be there Thursday night.
Right.
And we live in Illinois. She lives in Chicago. I live outside of St. Louis on the Illinois side. And we just so happened to be recording a podcast episode talking about, I think it was like Hannah Montana season one.
You're
Yeah, because
in
they're
the
doing
Hannah
like,
wig too.
I'm in full Hannah drag.
It's incredible. It's such a good clip. I watched it so many times and I was like beaming. I was like, this is so great.
It's like,
I was living for it.
you can't, I could not have planned this any
No,
better, like on
no.
accident, because
Yeah.
I had no idea. First of all, her team messaged us, like maybe a week before we got this invite and was like, "Hi, can you send me your emails?" I'm like, "Okay." But at this point, I don't even know if it's confirmed for sure that there's going
Yeah.
to be a live studio audience and what that live studio audience is for. So I just send the emails, didn't hear back. I see crazy rumors flying around that invites were already sent out, but then that turned out to be false. And Stan Twitter was just like
It was
unwell for my
bad.
mental health at that point. And I had no idea what was going to happen. I wasn't getting my hopes up because I didn't know what they had planned. It could have been like, hey, we're gonna send you a postcard, you
Yeah.
know?
Right.
It could have been something like that. We're waiting around. We start recording. We're like 10, 15 minutes into this podcast episode, sitting actually where I am right now talking to you. So I have my tripod set up. I have screens all around. I'm talking to Becky and I see out of the corner of my eye like a notification drop down and it's like a Gmail. And I just see Hannah Montana and I don't see anything else besides that. And I'm like, I had to move my head to look around my tripod and I was like, oh, Becky, we just got an email. I couldn't even say what it was because I was so like gagged. I
Yeah.
didn't I didn't know what to say. She's like, "What?" And she somehow knew what I was talking about.
I think you
And
said like we just got invited to the thing, and like you guys
to
just
the
knew,
thing,
and I was like,
to
this
the
is
thing,
exactly what I want people like. That's there should have been that one shared brain cell to be like, holy fuck, it's the thing.
the thing. We actually put like a more extended version of the reaction in our vlog from the trip. But I honestly forgot we were recording for a minute because I was so like tunnel
Yeah.
vision and was like, is this real? And I like called my fiance. He was out in the living room and I'm like, Colton, come here. And he thought it was fake at first. He's like, I always call him a boomer. He's very like off of his phone.
Yeah,
I have to show him things on his phone. And meanwhile, I'm like chronically online.
of
And
course.
so I'm explaining to him, like, no, this is what happened. And this is kind of something that happened similarly to the Something Beautiful event where
Hmm.
we had like a very short notice. But we're recording. And she's like, oh my God, I can't believe we got this on video. I'm like, well, yes. So this is going to be a clip one day.
Oh, easy.
Um, but we kind of like, we were like, okay, well, we still have to record this episode because I'm in full Hannah beat.
Yeah.
And this was a whole thing. Like I'm
I didn't put
sweating
the
from
wig
putting
on
this
for
wig on.
nothing.
No, exactly. I'm like, well, we got to finish the episode. We got to finish the deep dive. We had to like try to lock back in. However, in that episode, we were in such a good mood. So it was like great for the episode because we were just like beaming with like excitement. And afterwards, we just booked our plane tickets and looked for hotels. And it was like 4 days later, I had to ask my boss. We both had to ask our bosses,
Yeah.
hey, can we have this Friday, Thursday off? And they understand. They know that we like this comes first and
Yeah.
then
It's a big and
the
this is big. This isn't just like oh I got
yeah.
invited to what it's like this is the event of the year. So you
Yes.
get there, you guys don't know what's happening, you don't know what it's going to be, and then you're inside. And did she start with Best of Both Worlds? Like when she came out, was that the actual entrance that you guys saw? Like was that the first time she came out as Hannah, or like did they tell you what was going to happen?
They didn't tell us anything. I thought it was going to be like us watching an interview between her and Alex Cooper. I actually
Yeah.
had no idea she was going to perform. If you would have told me that we would see her ever perform Best of Both Worlds or This Is a Life, especially This Is a Life, ever again, I would have never believed you. I would have been like, what
Never.
alternative universe are you
Yeah.
living in? Or let alone do anything that's Hannah Montana related.
I think we all feel like that. Even people watching at home. It's like I had multiple friends there, so I knew what happened, but I wasn't telling. I was like, obviously, I'm going to keep this tight-lipped. But I
Yeah.
like even like I watch it with a bunch of my friends and my boyfriend, and they were like, "This is wild." Like
Yeah.
you never thought you would see today. Miley was back as Hannah singing these songs.
Never. Never. And so we get there, we're waiting. We get in like 5 or 6 different lines out in the sun.
Yeah.
They end up putting us in like this concrete cage that we're sitting in and waiting in. There's 200 of us roughly. After hours, we didn't have our phone, we didn't have our watches. No one knew what time it was. People that did have mechanical watches, they didn't even work. They were like, this is just for fashion. I don't have batteries in this. I'm
Yeah.
like,
No.
well, of course. And no one has smartwatches. We finally get in. I don't even know what time. I think we were supposed to be out of there originally at 2:30. I don't even think we went in until like 1:32.
Wow.
Very behind schedule. That's okay. I will
Worth
do
it.
whatever it takes, you know?
Yeah.
We get in there. There's a stage. You can see a little bit of the setup of the closet that they had makeshifted for
Yeah.
the sets. The rest of the set was taken down. I'm like, wow, okay, so we are going to get a concert. And she comes out eventually and she starts with This Is the Life.
Okay.
And
So
then
it
goes
wasn't.
into the climb. Correct.
Got it.
They
Which
had it
makes
flipped.
sense because of the outfit. She even had those outfit, like she was in a different outfit for Best of Both Worlds, and that so that does make sense. Yeah.
Yes, yes. I cried. It was
Yeah.
surreal. I'm really not like a big crier unless it's something that's really sad. I'm not like a happy crier.
Okay.
And so I was really taken aback at how much I was sobbing when she did
Yeah.
This Is a Life. She did it 3 times. So they
Wow.
did 3 takes. I could have watched her do it 3 more times,
Yeah.
like it was so good. And then after she did it 3 times, she did some talking with us. She goes backstage to start doing an outfit change. The production, they're doing like interviews and stuff
Hmm.
with fans. And then we're waiting around. And then we see a Hannah Montana logo sign start dropping down. That was crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know what they were gonna do. And so, but it was like chef's kiss. The fact
Oh
that
yeah.
they
I mean,
had the original, it looked
that's
so
literally
good. You,
from the theme song. That's like how she has it. Yeah.
yes. And then we see dancers come out on stage. Oh, that's when I was like, okay. And then I see Jamal Sims on stage.
He was there.
Yes, he was
I didn't
there.
realize he was there for the tape for like that part of the taping.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
We
Icon.
were like yeah, we were like, "Oh, so they brought everyone back for this."
Yeah.
And I didn't even talk about the band, but the OG band that she's had, they were there and they just looked really emotional too. Like they would look at each other while they were performing with like tears in their eyes. So that was
Totally.
cool. You can't really see that on the special. Obviously, it's a lot of focus on Miley, but when we were there, I kept looking at the band and they just looked really emotional, which was cool to
Yeah.
see. So they start getting the dancers put together. The dancers look like 2006, to be
Uh-huh.
honest. Did you catch that in the
I was like, these,
performance?
we are
The hats.
transported back. The hats, the outfits, everything. I was
Yeah.
like, we are back in 2006.
Yeah, and then she comes up from a riser. Insane.
It's literally the movie. It's literally, I was like, it's insane. I was so emotional watching all of this. I can't imagine being in the room watching and like not knowing what was going to happen and like whether she was going to perform this or that, like whatever it is. Like, I can't imagine the roller coaster of emotions that you were going through in that room because I was
It,
crying on a
it was
couch watching it.
me too, and I knew what was going to happen. Like I didn't know the other part, right? I only
Yeah.
knew that about the concert part, but I mean there were many times throughout the special where I was sobbing.
Yeah.
That we can get into, but Best of Both Worlds happened. The confetti. I got to talk to Max Mirando,
Oh,
which he
amazing.
was so nice. We talked to him for like 5 minutes about something beautiful, the
Yeah.
fact that he's a Nick kid, a Nickelodeon kid. I
Love that.
said, then you pick your nose and eat your boogers. And he's like, yeah. And I'm
I
like, why do I talk sometimes?
I chatted with him at the Something Beautiful premiere quick, like super, just like, oh, congrats, whatever. He was
Yeah.
like, thanks so much. I appreciate it. Like very quick, but very nice about it.
And
And
he's
I
like our
love,
age.
yeah, he's young.
He's very young.
I love seeing how supportive he is of everything she does because hasn't always been that way with her past lovers and the way
True.
that he is like involved. He's on the carpet with her. Like it is really nice. And like he lets her shine, which is what Miley needs. Like Miley needs to be the one in the spotlight and like have someone just supporting that. And like she I'm sure he gets like fulfillment out of like their private life and whatever, but like he really lets her take the reins on a carpet,
Yeah.
which I think is the issues with a lot of her past stuff, which we don't need to get into all of that because that's a whole nother
Yeah.
episode. But like
Yeah.
it's really, really heartwarming to see the way that he's so supportive of her. And like you could just tell like the love and the admiration they have. It's really, really sweet.
Yeah. No, for sure. It was an amazing experience. So,
Yeah.
yeah, the
I mean,
special.
the special, first and foremost, seeing Miley back in that house, it was crazy. Like all of us could like the living room, the closet, everything was like that was wild because it really was inch by inch a replica of the set. Like I was like, this is so impressive. Those set designers have not lost a second of anything they did. Like it was so to the T. I was like, you could have told me they left that set up for 20 years and I would have believed you.
Me too.
It was
Yeah. No, it
so
looked so
good.
good.
Yeah. Um, Speaking of like the living room, obviously Billy Ray comes in, which I have mixed feelings about Billy Ray, as I
For
think
sure.
most of us do. And
Yeah.
I don't love the whole situation with him and the Cyrus family, but there's no Hannah
Yeah.
Montana special without Robbie Ray. Like
Yeah. And I mean, it's
it
her
was
dad, right?
so special
It's
and so heartwarming to see that like even through everything that's happened in the last couple of years because it is still pretty recent everything that happened with Tish
for
and
sure.
the inauguration like there's a lot that has happened in the last
Yeah.
couple of years and just the fact that like they were able to be like, you know what, let's come together. And they obviously like Miley released secrets for his birthday and that whole whatever,
Yeah.
so there's obviously they're fine. But just so sweet. Like seeing them on the couch and chatting together, it was just a really heartwarming moment. And I am really happy that he was in it because it's, again, there was no Hannah without Robbie Ray.
No, for sure. And we haven't seen them really together like
Yeah,
that in so long that it felt so nostalgic. And when they were reading the script together, oh, that's
really
when I
cute.
was like sobbing because
Yeah,
they kind of like locked back in.
totally.
It's also, and she mentions this later in the special, but she talks about how it's really emotional watching her mother and her father get older.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's kind of how I felt about seeing Billy Ray. I was like, well, he is getting older. You can tell. His voice sounds different. And my
Hmm.
fiance was like, probably from smoking so much weed. I'm like, no, literally. He's probably just like
Yeah.
this old hippie that like lives on, he is like that just lives on the farm.
Yeah,
And,
literally.
but it made me happy for her that she has like worked on this relationship with her father because like it is her father at the end of the day,
Yeah.
whether they, see eye to eye or not,
Yeah.
like
And
you
on
can
screen
tell that
and
really
off
affected
screen.
her.
Like they
Yes.
had such a that bond they must have built while they were, I mean, when Miley was filming Hannah, she was so young.
Yeah.
Those are pinnacle years of your adolescence. And like she was A, the biggest pop star in the world, B, filming a TV show, and C, her dad was on set with her playing her dad. Like the levels to it is really so I don't think I realized, I mean, now thinking about it, of course, but like at the moment I didn't realize how much that must have played into their relationship, you know?
No, for sure. So yeah, I'm just happy she even said like, the world is a better place when the Cyruses are getting along. And
For
so I
sure.
feel like their whole family has maybe besides Trace, he's kind of a wild card. He's
Yeah.
out here crashing out on Instagram every other
Talking about
month.
Katy Perry and yeah.
Yeah, he's a wild card. And I think the Cyrus girls know that too. They're like always making jokes on their own podcast like, yeah, Trace is a little wild.
Yeah,
But it made me happy for her that she has worked on that relationship and she just seems like
totally.
way happier and
Yeah,
healthier
for
right now.
sure. And of course, where we have Billy Ray, we also have Tish. I love Tish. I
Yes.
do. Like
The mother.
she is everything. And like her being in the closet with her and even bringing out like that cheer jacket at that one moment, like you can tell like she is the definition of a momager, but not in the
For
sense where
sure.
she saw it as like a money thing. She saw it as like, this is my daughter's dream. We're gonna make it happen. And like
And she's a star. Yeah.
watching her in the closet, like joking about like, oh, this is when Disney shopped, this is when Tish shopped, and like the way that
Yeah.
I don't think people realize how involved Tish was in the show behind the scenes. Like she really was with them every step of the way, helping make decisions because she had to be. Miley was
Mm-hmm.
so young, you know?
Yeah.
It's so sweet to see her there because again, like there's no Miley Cyrus the way that there's no Hannah Montana and Miley Stewart without Robbie Ray is similar with like Tish and Miley Cyrus and the show. Like she was such
For
an integral
sure.
part to making sure she was protected and things like that on set, and seeing her celebrate it was so sweet. It was really just like so celebratory for the Cyrus family. I can't imagine what they're all feeling after it's aired now, you know?
Yeah. Well, there's been so many rats online complaining about the fact that Tish is in the special. And I'm like, no, you guys don't understand. She is the reason why Miley is the way she is.
Right. Like they are a carbon copy of each other. Like they are literally
Yes.
the same person. Like there's
Yeah.
no Miley, like Tish walks so Miley could run. Like,
Yeah. And
come
even
on.
Miley's came out and been like, a lot of these great decisions I've had were actually Tish ideas.
Yeah. I
Partying
think
USA was a Tish idea. Yeah.
people don't credit her enough.
Agreed.
And just with the whole house and everything, her recreating that meme and leaning into it at the end was so
So
perfect.
good.
And there's a world where like I could see where Miley wasn't happy about any memes related to Hannah Montana. Like there is a world where like and an era where she fully was
Yeah.
so anti-Hannah and not leaning into it. And the way that she is like fully leaning into it and like making memes, laughing at herself. We haven't always been able to see Miley laugh at herself in this way and like really
Yeah.
celebrate things that are so far from who she is now, but seeing her recreate this meme, seeing her do all of this stuff and just welcome it with open arms was so, even if you're not a huge fan like the two of us, like you can watch this and be like, wow, like my friends were like, this brought tears to my eyes because it was so
Yeah.
celebratory.
Well, I always say too, it's kind of crazy. We're in a world now where Miley feels closer to Hannah than she does with Bangers.
Yeah,
era,
it
which
really
I
is
would
kind
have
of like
never
a circle of
thought.
life. I know. It's
It's
crazy.
nuts. I'm
It's
ready for Bangers
nuts.
2.0 in 2040.
You and me both. I'll be waiting. We had a lot of guest appearances, some exciting, some are polarizing. Obviously, Alex Cooper is the biggest presence on the special other than Miley. I am not an Alex Cooper hater by all means. I
Yeah.
think it is so badass the way that she has built her podcast up. Am very curious about Sophia's book, I will say. But they'll call
Me
her
too.
very curious about that. But we're not here to talk about Call Her Daddy. And when this got announced, it was very polarizing because, like, she's not the best interviewer ever. And that's not why people go on her show. They go on her show because she's relatable and people feel comfortable talking to her.
Correct.
When I announced this on the show and, it was one of my stories, this is coming out, Alex Cooper, I said, I'm down. I'm into it. Miley and Alex have a history together. They've done this before. Like, Miley was one of Alex's first major celebrity guests. Like, it was huge. So I was fine with it. And after seeing it, I do kind of wish they hired, not because you did a bad job, but I do kind of wish
Yeah.
they hired somebody else for the job just to make it more celebratory of the show. Because, like, yes, she was a fan of the show, but, like, let's be honest, who wasn't a fan of Hannah Montana in 2006? Like, it was
Yeah.
everything. So I almost wish they got like a Dolly Parton, a Dolly at all in the special, but like imagine Dolly interviewing Miley or Tish
Oh,
interviewing Miley. Like, Tish has a podcast. Tish is good at doing this. Like, I almost wish it was
yeah.
somebody in the Cyrus family, Brandy, somebody,
I was
because
thinking Brandy.
it would have just given it that extra level of, comfort almost, where like
For
Alex did a
sure.
fine job. I do think Alex did a great job. I understand why it was so special for her, but I'm almost like, I wish like this could have just, you could have just done like a Call Her Daddy episode and then have somebody else come on and do this that's Disney adjacent or Cyrus adjacent.
No, for sure. And that was my thought too, was it felt so short, their interview. And Alex Cooper has come out and said, we actually filmed like 2.5 hours or
Right.
something like that. So I wonder if there is a possibility of that extended version coming out, whether it's through Disney Plus, like an extended cut,
Yeah.
or on the Call Her Daddy channels.
Right.
Because there was some joint venture deal between Matt Kaplan and Alex Cooper and Tish Cyrus's production company,
Yeah. Well, at
from
the
what
end,
I,
it said an Unwell production. And I was like, whoa,
yes.
that's huge. Like, I mean, obviously she was involved, but like the fact that Alex's production company was on it, like that was major for her.
Yeah. So I wonder if there was some, deal that there would
Yeah.
eventually be. I would love to see the extended version of the interview. I guess
Oh
is
no,
what I'm trying to
fully. Oh,
say.
100%. Yeah.
Like we already did it. Let's get it.
Yeah, give it to us, let's see it.
Yeah.
We also had a visit from Selena Gomez, Michaela on Hannah Montana.
So
I
good.
loved this cameo. And like, if you would have told me when I was watching Miley and Mandy and Demi and Selena fight on YouTube in 2008, that like out of everybody, Selena Gomez was the Disney Channel X act who was coming on to the Hannah Montana special, I would not have believed you
Yeah.
for a second. But like, it was so sweet. It was so See, I mean, Miley was rumored to be at her wedding. Who knows if she really was, but I believe that she was. I think they
I
are,
think she was.
yeah, like they just seem like
Yeah.
they have this really special respect for each other. And seeing
Yeah.
her just being there and celebrating it, and like Selena, Miley, Demi, the Jonas Brothers, like that was such a crazy time for Disney Channel. And like seeing any of them come together is always going to be exciting. I mean, we saw Miley and Selena, what was that, the Golden Globes? Earlier this
Yeah.
year. Like that was sweet. And it's just like, it's so nice to see. Of course, it was teenage drama, the Miley and Mandy drama of it all. But like that was life or death for me back in the day. I was like, Miley and Mandy responded to Demi and Selena, like this is the end of the world. Like I gotta go see what happened. And like now seeing the two of them together, it was so special.
No, agreed with everything you said. I love their relationship now, and I think out of everyone in the industry, Selena is someone that Miley probably can relate to the most.
For sure. I mean, nobody other than those Disney Channel kids went through that, whether it was
Yeah.
at the magnitude of Miley or something small. I mean, Selena was not far behind
She was
Miley's
definitely
level of
next
fame.
runner up.
Totally,
Yeah,
yeah. I just think it was like at a different caliber because it wasn't like
for sure.
the whole but it was still that same
Hannah.
idea. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
There was two. It was like double whammy, you
Yeah.
know? Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think Selena on there was perfect. Chappell Roan. Now, like we said, love Chapel.
Yeah.
I understand she's like this quote unquote real life Hannah Montana, as she calls herself. And like, I get that. She dresses up on stage and Hannah Montana is a drag queen.
For
Chappell Roan is
sure.
a drag queen. There is a similarity there. I'm not mad about it. People are pissed about this, and I understand
Yeah,
why. But I'm like, whatever. Like it's Chappell, and I mean, it's making headlines. It's what the thing's
it's
supposed
true.
to do. Sabrina Carpenter was right there,
No, that's exactly what I said. Like
and
that is
like,
exactly what we said.
not that I want to ever like pit women against each other and be like, Sabrina
I know.
deserved this. Oh, Sabrina Carpenter won the Miley World Contest in
No,
2000 and
literally.
what year? Like, there is of course, similar to Alex Cooper, everybody loved Hannah Montana. Like,
Yeah.
this wasn't like a niche show that it was like an
Yeah.
underground thing. No. There's a
Everyone
reason we're
did.
celebrating it. Everybody loved Hannah. So you could pick any pop star and they would be
Uh-huh.
like, I love Hannah, of course. Even if they don't, they're going to
Yeah.
lie and say that they do because they're press trained and they're going to do it anyway. Like, I think Chappell, she was fine. Her answers, like, she was pleasant on the special. Like, she did fine. It wasn't her performance or anything, but it's like Emily Osment, Mitchell Musso, Dolly
Yeah.
Parton, they're all missing. And then Chappell walked in. I was like, huh?
I didn't know if we needed it.
Yeah,
Like,
like I would have rather seen her perform another song or talk
or
with
more of the
Tish more
interview.
or more of the interview, yeah, than with
Yeah.
Chappell. It was just kind of like a
I
out of
know.
left field thing. And I'm curious how that came about and like who pitched it, you know?
Yeah, and especially with all this stuff that Chappell Roan's dealing with in the press, I'm like, this is bad timing.
Beyond like such bad timing. But then if they would have cut it out, like it would have been even more drama because Chappell
No,
would have
it's
probably
true.
said so. But it is really
It's true.
heartwarming seeing like Miley really did pave the way for so many pop stars. Like she really has fully just like she was the blueprint. She truly
For
is the
sure.
blueprint for the early mid to late 2000 that avenue of pop star. Like she really even like I love the video of Lady Gaga that keeps going viral with the lip gloss. Like
Yeah.
she was on every poster, she was on everything. Like it was so wild the way that she really set the bar so high. It was like her and the High School Musical kids. The two of them were like,
Yes.
really doing it big. And it was sweet to see Chappell like admire that.
No, I totally agree.
Jamal Sims, as you mentioned,
Yeah.
icon,
Yeah.
legend.
Icon.
Seeing her do the hoedown throwdown, unbelievable. I mean,
That was so cool.
Jamal is so iconic. I mean, do you watch Drag Race at all?
So I'm on season 4. I'm watching it for the first time
Oh,
in
oh,
order.
oh my God! You're about to get into some
The good stuff.
incredible TV. Like the first couple seasons
That's
are
what my
great.
friend says.
5, 6, 7, legendary. Like
That's what
you
I've
are
heard.
in for I'm so jealous that you're watching it for the first time. But as you continue
Well,
watching, Jamal popped in and out because he choreographs on
wow.
Drag Race a lot. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, because my friend says the same thing. He's like, you're not even at the good part yet. And I'm like, well, I've enjoyed the first 3 seasons, so I'm even more excited that it gets better. So,
Yeah, you are, and you're in like a great because that's like when they started to get money, season 4.
yeah,
Not to
for
pivot
sure.
off a track, like you can tell the budget goes up and like things are changing.
Yeah,
Yeah, seasons 5 through 7 are like, I mean, all of them are great, but like those are like prime. You'll know a lot of the queens on those seasons just because they're so big in culture.
for
Um,
sure.
that's
Yeah.
how I felt because I didn't watch it live when it was airing. I caught up on Drag Race in the pandemic. And I was like, oh,
Okay,
I
cool.
know who this is. I know who that is because they're just so culturally involved. I'm so
Yeah.
jealous. But that being said,
Okay,
you
cool.
will see Jamal Sims a lot in Drag Race. He choreographs a lot
Perfect.
of their stuff. So I just love that he is always in the forefront of culture. Like he really is so iconic.
Yeah,
And seeing him on the
he
special, I was
is.
like, and he's just like so handsome. I was like, oh, I
No,
could
he
look at
is.
you all day. Like I was so happy to see him on there. Um, and then we kind of touched on this, but of course, like the Jason, Emily, Mitchell, Moises. Of course, Jason and Moises were at the premiere, but they weren't in the special. How do you feel about them not being in the actual special?
Yeah, I mean, it would have definitely been a different special, right, if they were all in it. I kind of wish we would have had like a little cameo, like how they brought in Chappell Roan. That could have been a cool 5-minute segment where you have them all together sitting in, I don't know, outside on the deck or something.
Mhm.
Um, but I'm not like listen, I love Miley Cyrus, and I think Miley Cyrus is the reason Hannah Montana was as big as she was.
Yeah,
So I'm not like super upset. Obviously, it would have been nice to have,
right.
but it's not like keeping me up all night. Like people online are pissed, I will
Pissed
say.
about it. And like I get it, but it's like it didn't make or break the special for me. I would have loved to see them. And even if they like sent in a video, hey, it's Emily, wish I
Yeah.
could be there. Happy 20.
Yes.
But like it to me it's more so like why? not the I wish they were there. You know, I'm like, I want to know why they weren't involved
Me
and
too.
not
Yeah.
like, oh, I missed them on it. I was just like, okay, like
Yeah.
we're doing this for Miley. Like, let's call it what it is. You know, this was Miley
Yes.
Cyrus wanting to be in the news cycle, and it's what she
Yeah.
deserves.
No, for sure. That's exactly how I feel about it.
I thought the whole bit about her talking about like Zach and Vanessa picking her up was so funny and
I
like
love
doing the
that.
press together. So iconic. I mean,
The crumbs. Like I love getting the
unbelievable.
crumbs.
Yeah. Even like hearing about Dylan Sprouse, I was like, that's
Yeah.
crazy. That's never come out before. Like, I didn't
Well,
I
you didn't
didn't
know
know
that?
that. No, I had no idea. I thought that was like new information.
So there's an interview on Jimmy Kimmel from like 17 years ago of Dylan and Cole Sprouse on his show when they were really young. So I want to say like
Okay.
2008. And Jimmy Kimmel pulls up a magazine and it's like one of those J14
Yeah.
magazines. And it says something about like Miley and Dylan dating rumor. And Dylan says, yeah, we did date. We met on her set, I believe. And then Nick Jonas walked by and it was all over. That's what he says. But
I
nobody
remember
talks about that, I don't think.
I remember like seeing photos of them, but I was just like, oh, it was like That's So Sweet Love of Hannah Montana. Like they were just doing a
Yes.
crossover
Yeah.
kind of thing. Like, but I never, I loved Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, but I would
Me
never
too.
loved like the Sprouse brothers. Like I never, that was a show that I
Yeah,
loved. I loved the show, not the people kind of thing.
for sure.
Nothing against them. I think they're great, but like just never,
Yeah,
I was chasing the girls. I wanted to see Miley and
for
actually
sure.
just, I was more interested in
Yeah.
that. But similarly, then the Jonas Brothers walked by and I was like, who are they?
Yeah.
um
Well, she
yeah
gets it.
I like never knew that. Like I'm not shocked, but I was like, it's kind of like for her to like say that, I feel like it's probably the first time she's ever admitted it.
She's confirmed it.
Yeah, I was
Correct.
like, whoa.
Yes.
I was like, that was fun to hear. But yeah, it's just like that era of Disney Channel is so
Iconic.
just like
So good.
golden age of it. It was incredible.
You
And
had
this
to be
was
there.
you really did. Like I
Ocean
was
Up. What you know about
Ocean
Ocean Up, everyone?
Ocean Up and Just Jared, I had bookmarked on my
Yes.
computer. And I was like, let me go back. I would go back and forth and refresh. And it would be like Miley leaving millions of milkshakes. Or I'll never forget the
Yeah.
day that Nick and Miley left that movie theater together. Nick's in that gray sweater. I think
Yep.
about those
The
photos to
internet
this
broke.
day.
Me too.
Broke.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. It was such a different era. And as we're all, I mean, I'm about to turn 31 in 2 weeks. We're all coming into our, this new decade of our lives and we're celebrating Hannah
Yep.
20 and everything. She ends it with this new song, performing Younger You. I I was prepared for Hannah Montana 20, the anniversary, to wreck me. I was prepared for it. I was not
Uh-huh.
prepared to hear Miley Cyrus sing a song to her younger self on the set of Hannah Montana in the year 2026, and I will be sending her a therapy bill. Like,
No.
it was, A, the song is beautiful. B, just like, what a perfect ending to this special.
Well, in the lyrics, it was very singer-songwriter,
It
which
was.
we haven't heard from her in a minute.
Yes.
So I thought even just the production and the sound and the lyricism was very touching. It was giving early Backyard Sessions, like
Totally.
2012 Backyard Sessions. The lyrics about like her parents and calling her parents.
Calling her dad.
Oh, my childhood trauma was like triggered.
Oh, I was like, I'm going to talk to my therapist about this.
I was like, I need to get one.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is my reminder,
Yeah.
girl.
True.
Take care of yourself. But it was, yeah, I was sobbing. Like it
Beautiful
was
song.
crazy. The
Like,
pictures on the screen, on the background.
it was perfect. It was perfectly, and it also came so out of nowhere. Like
Yes, I didn't know about this.
she shut the lights off. She walked off. I thought she was gonna leave the set and like get back in the car. And then I'm like, why are we hearing a song? I'm like, I don't know this song. I was like, what is happening? It was such a cherry on top of a special. And like I said, was the special perfect? No, there were flaws in it for sure.
It's
But
never
like,
gonna be perfect.
it's never going to be perfect. You can't please everybody. And I just think like at the end of the day, they could have paid it dust the way that they did High School Musical 20 and like the way they'll probably pay Camp Rock 20. But like Hannah Montana, like Hannah
Yeah.
Montana was such a the hugest moment for this network.
Yeah.
If they didn't do anything to this level, like they could have done more if they really wanted to. They could have given it a 2-hour special, but the fact that they
Mhm.
acknowledged it and Miley was so involved and it was so sentimental for her. I mean, you can complain until the cows come home, but it's like, let's just be happy, Like the internet
Yeah.
needs to just touch some grass and be like, you know what? Yeah, I could have done without Chappell Roan. Yeah, maybe I would have rather not Alex Cooper, but it's like we saw Miley Cyrus
No,
perform the
I'm
best of both
grateful.
worlds in 2026. Shut the fuck up and
Yeah,
enjoy the special. Fast forward through Chappell
that's
Roan. Like if you don't want to see her, fast
yep.
forward through it.
Yep. No, that's exactly what I tell myself. When I caught
It's
myself being like, why? And then I'm like, you know what? This is actually insane. I just need to like enjoy this moment and
right.
not
I
let
was like
anything
finding
ruin
myself
it.
being like, oh, and then I was like, shut the
Yeah.
fuck up. Like
It's
enjoy it.
human.
Yeah,
It's
right.
human for
It's and
sure.
especially in this age, everyone's a critic, and it's like you're gonna
Yes.
whatever, but it was great. I loved it. I'm so happy to be celebrating 20 years of Hannah Montana. And I love that Miley committed to it. She was so all in. And to her team, to Disney Channel, to everybody involved, not that they're listening, but if they are, kudos to you guys. Like you really, you did it. You did good. You did what
I
you needed
agree.
to do.
Absolutely.
Any final thoughts on Hannah before we wrap things up in just a moment?
I don't think so.
Okay, so this is the portion of the show where I do a TV recap. I usually go through Drag Race as like a
Yes.
full thing. I talk about the entire thing. If I didn't love this episode as much as I did, I would have skipped this. I'm going to do this as quick as possible for you, for the
Let's do
listeners.
it.
This is my favorite makeover challenge we have had in recent years. I think this was such a special episode. Basically, they had these gay cowboys come on and the queens had to do the makeover challenge on them.
Oh,
And
I love that.
seeing the gay cowboys connect with these drag queens, and rodeo is such a masculine thing, you know, and they have this whole gay section of the rodeo for them, and even then they still feel like they have to have a beard and be masculine. So watching these grown men come in, and these grown gay men who still like
Yeah.
this is what makes it so special. um Absolutely loved it. No notes. I'm not going to go through every runway, not going to do everything. Mikey ends up winning. Not mad about it. However, I did want it to go to Darlene so bad. This is gibberish to you, Molly. I am so sorry. But I
No,
did.
I actually know these names because
Oh,
I have friends
amazing.
that watch it.
Oh, okay.
I've
Perfect.
I don't watch every episode because like I told you, I'm trying to watch it in order and then catch
Yeah.
up, which is gonna
But
take me years, but
you'll
it's
these next
fine.
few seasons you're not going to want to stop, so you'll just binge them. They will go fast. Mikey ends up winning. I'm not mad about. I think they looked the most similar, but I think Darlene had the most fun with hers, which like I just love Darlene Mitchell, and like
I
you'll
love
never make me
Darlene
hate her.
too.
She's fabulous.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
obsessed with her. I absolutely love her, but I'm happy to see Mikey win. Like Mikey does deserve it. Mikey's very talented. The bottom two ends up being Nene versus Discord, and the lip sync song is one of the best pop songs released in recent years. We Can't Be Friends by Ariana Grande.
Yes.
I mean, I this
I love it.
it's one of the best songs ever to me. Like I
I
love this
agree.
song so much. This lip
Me
sync was
too.
great. I don't understand why Discord called it a ballad, but that's neither here nor there. Nene sent her packing, which it was time for Discord to go. I've been saying Discord, she overstayed her
Discord
welcome.
left.
Discord
I
did
was
leave.
surprised that Discord was still in.
You and me both. And I that's not that I don't
I
think she's
saw her walk
talented,
one
but it's
time.
like, oh, the walk heard around the world. It's and she did it and it was cute. She did like leave and she did the walk one last time, like the full leaning back. Like, it was
Oh yeah,
funny.
she
And
owned it.
oh, she owned it. She left in good spirit. She said, I'll see you on All Stars. And I do think we will see her on an All Star season. I think she has a really
Okay.
good spirit. She is very talented. She's just a little delusional, but you know, aren't we all? You know, like
You gotta be.
you gotta be. But now we are at a top five. Of course, yes, it's with a rapid, quick recap, but we have top five. We are coming down to the finale. April 17th is the last episode. So we have two more episodes, the lip sync Lollapalooza, and then we get the winner of season 18 of Drag Race. Very exciting, but very sad to see that the season is ending. But as soon as this ends, All Stars will start. So we'll have something else to talk about in the TV recap. Which is All Stars is a whole nother thing for you to get into. That's a
No, I'm
whole
like overwhelmed.
yeah. All Stars 2, some of the best TV you will ever watch. Ever.
Okay.
And it's like not just me
How
being
many
like,
seasons of All
of
Stars are there?
we're on 11. But
Catch me in 2035
yes,
finishing up all the
I
shows I need
will,
to watch.
I would say after you watch season 7, if you want like to if you love those queens so much, which I think you will, and you want to
Go
like
chronological.
go to All Stars 2. You could watch All Stars 1 now.
Oh,
You
okay.
you can do
Yeah.
all I'm pretty sure you can do All Stars 1 after season 4. And then you can
Okay.
do All Stars 2 after season 7. Maybe just like double check the dates.
There's probably a table somewhere.
Yeah, for sure. But
Yeah.
All Stars 2, some of the best reality television you will ever see in your life.
Okay.
It is incredible. And you'll understand why once you watch 5 through 7, because the queens that are on All Stars 2, it's the best from those seasons. Like it's just
Okay.
killer cast, killer competition. It is incredible. But I'll be waiting for your review of all of these
Oh,
seasons once
yeah.
you get through them. But that being said, we have made it to the end of this week's episode, and you guys know the drill. We end every single episode of Too Pop to Handle with a yes and a mess. A yes being something I am loving, and a mess being something I am not loving. And Mollie even is getting in on the fun, so we will have her yes and mess as well. You guys know the drill. We always start on a high note, and my yes this week is Megan Thee Stallion's Broadway debut in Moulin Rouge. Have you seen the videos?
I have. I don't know much about like what's happening, but I've seen the videos online and I'm
So
also here for it. I
TLDR,
love her.
I mean, just the best. Like I
Yeah.
love her so much, and like in a world in which a female rapper is so unpleasant, I'm happy to see that Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, Lotto, all of these other female rappers that aren't Nicki Minaj are doing so
Yes.
incredibly well.
I agree.
She had her Broadway debut last night when we were recording this, and she is playing the Zidler in Moulin Rouge. If you don't know, Moulin Rouge is a jukebox musical, so they play current songs, they play Bad Romance, they play songs that fit into the into the musical that are current day. So at the end, Megan does an entire medley of her hits, and it turns into a Megan Thee Stallion concert at the Al Hirschfeld Theater. And just the videos, the photos of her, the crowd outside of the stage door, seeing her do this. I love Megan as an artist, as a human. I think she is just so fantastic. And just knowing what she's been through. I mean, both of her parents are no longer with us. She graduated college while she was literally releasing her mixtapes, and like she was going viral and still in college, got her degree. I mean, the whole Tory Lane situation, the whole Nicki Minaj, like she has really been through a lot in the last couple of years and just in her life. And seeing her continue to come out on top, it just goes to show when you're not a bitter bitch and when you're not just preying on everybody else's downfall and staying in your lane and doing what you want,
It's
you
true.
can just come out on top. And like she is having the time of her life. And I'm so proud of her. And I need to get a ticket to go see this show. Like I will not let Megan Thee Stallion's Moulin Rouge run go without me being sat. I don't care if I'm in the last row, wherever I am, I will be in the room because it is just I love her so much, and this just looks so incredibly cast, so incredibly celebrated, so perfect. Now, switching gears, because when there's a yes, there's always a mess. My mess this week, Usher did an and Usher's kind of been pissing me off the last couple
I
weeks.
haven't seen this.
Okay. It came out literally today. So a couple weeks
Okay.
ago, after the Oscars, it was rumored that Usher and Justin Bieber got into like this big argument, and they
I
had
saw
this
that.
at Beyonce and Jay-Z's party. Now, I'm very strict about like not bringing rumors to the show. I always say it's news, not gossip. Like I try to bring things that are concrete facts. So I didn't talk about it on the show because no one knows that this actually happened. But now I
Hmm.
don't give a fuck. Usher is just continuing to dog himself. He did an interview with Forbes, and he said, I don't have anything negative to say about Sean Combs, which is Diddy. He says, my experience was not what the world has seen and how he's been, misrepresented. And I just think this is such a privileged response to say as a man in the industry, to say like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
maybe they did find thousands of bottles of baby oil in his house, and we did see Diddy beat the fuck out of his girlfriend, and we did see Diddy do all of these
Yeah.
things, and like yeah, maybe the
Yeah. How
court
could you like forget
yeah,
all this?
maybe the court didn't find him guilty on every count, which is what's wrong with our justice system, which is
Yeah.
like not the biggest thing our government needs to worry about, but like Diddy should be in jail for life for the things that he's done. For Usher to go
Uh-huh.
on a Forbes interview and say, I don't think he's that bad. Like, are you fucking stupid or are you dumb?
No, it's I didn't know that he said that. That is
It's
crazy.
because it's probably going to get washed in the news cycle. It's going to get like, oh, what are the women doing that we can pit and like figure out and be mad about instead of we're pissed off about Chappell Roan being in the Hannah Montana special, but we're not going to talk about Usher and Diddy. Like, it's the way the
In
news
my
cycle
defense, I didn't
works.
know this was a thing.
No, no, it's not. It's not you. I'm saying like
I know,
this
I
is
know,
what
I know.
happens. It's like I swear there's something going on with the news cycle where they don't put these things in front of
Oh, there always
everybody.
is.
I think
There
if I
always
didn't
is.
have the job that I do where I like need to be on top of everything, I probably wouldn't have seen this
Hmm.
either. It's just such a crazy thing for him to say. Like I think he could have just been like, I choose not to comment. Even if he does believe this, don't admit it on camera.
Yeah, that's a crazy thing to say. I feel like I haven't seen anyone back up Diddy. Like,
Yeah,
so the fact that he did is kind of nuts.
it's insane. But that is my yes and my mess for the week. So Molly, I will hand it over to you to wrap things up for us.
Yes. Okay, so my yes is Paradise. That's on Hulu. It's a show. Have you heard of this?
I've heard of it, but I have not watched it.
Okay. If you were into Silo or Severance, it's kind of the same vibe as those shows,
Okay.
kind of sci-fi. It's so good. I just started season one. They're currently on season two, rolling out
Okay.
every
Oh,
week.
so it's like newer.
Um, yes, yes, they're
Okay.
currently on season two. I'm like towards the end of season one, so I'm a little late to the game. It is like the best show I've watched this year.
Wow.
That's
Okay.
that's not reality TV. I
Yes.
love reality TV,
Of
but
course. Of
sometimes you need
course.
like a break, you know?
Yes.
Um,
Totally.
so I fully suggest this show if you're looking for something. It's I I can't really talk about it without spoiling it. I kind of
Right.
went into it without knowing anything about what it was, and
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the best way to do it.
Totally
So,
agreed. Yeah. I think that's something I've learned through doing the podcast. I'll be like, I just saw the trailer for this movie and I'm so excited. And then I go see it and I'm like let down. And I'm like, oh, because I watched the
yeah.
trailer, you get like these false expectations for it. So I'm a big, obviously maybe watch something a little bit about it, but like when you go into something with too high of expectations, it's always gonna let you down. So I totally co-sign the idea of like just
Yes.
go into it blind. I've heard people talk about this, but I didn't know anything about it other than what you just said, and that sounds very fun. So I'm adding it to my list.
Good. It's very good.
Yes,
My mess, like you said, there can't be a yes without a mess.
it's the name of the game.
And you kind of predicted it, but I couldn't. Okay, here's the honest truth: is I really couldn't think of anything that was a mess for this week because I've been so focused on Hannah Montana
Hmm.
content that I actually have been neglecting other pop culture news because I've just been like cranking away on the Talk Miley to Me stuff.
Totally.
However, in my world, on what's happening with Hannah Montana, like we've talked about, the only critique I had of the special was, which we've talked in lengths about already, is the Chappell Roan of it all. I think it could have been Sabrina. I think we could have made time for cameos of the original cast. But yes, that is my mess. But it's a very small mess.
I
It's a very it doesn't really matter mess, you know?
Yeah, it's not quite like a cleanup on aisle nine, but it's like, oh,
Yeah.
grab like a paper towel and like wipe the counter kind of
Yeah.
mess. Yeah,
Yes.
it's not, it's not Usher co-signing Diddy or like
No.
my
Your
previous,
mess
yeah,
makes my mess look like just a little dust bunny.
my I updated my mess and my yes actually.
Oh, really?
My original yes was Madonna and Julia Garner did a reel of like a virgin in like the same gondola that they do in the music video because
I
she's
saw
playing her in
this.
the biopic. And I knew they looked alike, but until I saw the two of them next to each other, I was like, holy fuck, they
That's
are
crazy.
identical. And it made me so much more excited for the Madonna biopic. But then Megan came in and
Me
like
too.
crushed the news. And my other mess was the fact that we have ICE agents in our airports now. But I was like, I'm gonna get
Oh, yes.
way
I
too
have seen that.
heated talking about it. And I'm like, they already know how I feel. And I just can't believe we're living in this timeline.
Both of your messes, whichever one, are like huge ass messes.
Yeah, like the messiest.
Like I said, making mine look very insignificant, which
Hey,
is more on my fault. I need
no,
to.
hey, a mess is a mess. If it's, yeah, no, there is
I've
no
been in
mess
my
too big, no
cloud of
mess too
Hannah
small.
Montana.
And that makes sense for the content that you are constantly cranking out.
I've just been like, oh my God, Hannah Montana on the brain all the time that I have
Fully.
been neglecting other news. I will admit to that.
Well, now you got a little catch up on this podcast, some things you didn't know,
I
some
did
things you did
actually.
know. Molly, thank you so much for coming on and chatting with me and being the first ever, the
Yeah.
inaugural guest on the entire podcast. Let the people know where they can find you.
Talk Miley to Me podcast, of course. We're on Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, TikTok. Twitter. I'll always call it Twitter.
Same.
And then I'm on my own personal accounts as well, Mollie on Pop altogether. I do YouTube videos when I have time to do them. I'm usually cranking out content on the Talk Miley to Me podcast page, but I like to do a lot of pop culture content on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. So
I loved your
come
2016
hang
deep
out.
dive. The
Oh, thank
the
you.
moments I still think about or whatever it was. I was like, I needed that. It was like such a good refresher of things.
I
Very
want to
fun
do a
deep
2006
dives.
one.
Yes, totally.
That's on my to-do list.
Love
But
it.
there are a lot of, there are a lot of work doing those deep dives like that and then the
Sure
editing
is.
that goes into it. But they're so fun. That's like where I'm like my happiest. So I'll be
Yes,
doing
for
more of
sure.
those as the anniversary calms down.
Yeah, you had a big, even with Something Beautiful, and like you had a big year with Hannah and Miley in the last,
Yes.
not even year. It's literally Something Beautiful hasn't even been out a year yet, and you've had so much back to
Yeah.
back. So you guys are like, we're
The
banking on
guilt.
content. We're good to go. We're doing the things. I'm so proud of everything you guys are doing. It's fabulous to
Thank
watch you
you.
guys. Kayla, you guys hit 10K recently on Instagram, which is so
I
exciting.
know.
So
It's
many
crazy.
fabulous things. Everyone, if you are not already listening to Talk Miley to Me, go check it out. You will love it.
Thanks.
And
Thank
with that
you.
being said, thank you guys so much for listening to this week's episode of Too Pop to Handle. If you liked what you heard and you're listening to us as a podcast, please go ahead and leave us a 5-star rating. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit subscribe, drop a comment, hit like. You know the drill. All the buttons except dislike. If you would like some extra moments of the week that were just too pop to handle in between podcast episodes, you can head over to my Substack. I'll have a link down below and subscribe to my weekly newsletter popping in where I share extra moments of the week that were too pop to handle in between podcast episodes. And because I just can't shut up and cannot get off the internet, you can always follow me at Andrew Nucatola or at Too Pop to Handle across all platforms. And with that, I will catch you guys next week. Bye.